All right, what's up, people that are waiting? So I've been sitting here with T and Terrell's uh, icons on here. Their mics have been muted this whole time. I've been talking to myself, so I figure, what the hell, just start. I don't know if Robert's gonna show up. I don't know if Retro's gonna show up. Sandstorm, who knows? Um, I think Terrell was trying to beat Radon still, so that's why he's late.
Wait, what happened?
So maybe you're still trying to beat Radon.
I'm not proud of that victory.
I didn't hang out. I was watching a movie. I literally hit him twice and beat him. I let everybody else. I just kept resurrecting the everybody's like spirit and just let them destroy him because it was just
That
I did not care for that style boss fight personally.
no, that's literally what I did. That's why I said I wasn't proud of the victory.
I mean, I know a girl. She's no horse and everything. 1-on-1 took her like hours, like all day to beat it. But
Hey man,
I like the new angle there. T looks good.
You dig it?
I'm not sure what you change. As you just like change the
I think
camera, and you're
no,
sitting in a different
I just,
spot.
yeah, I'm sitting in a different spot.
Okay.
Just turn my angle.
yeah, because he was more towards like the left when I
I feel
remember.
like you could see your. You could still see the I don't know, a little sparkly. It used to be like a lava lamp style
No,
thing.
that's literally right in front of me.
Oh, okay.
The
There's one
lamp,
behind
yeah,
you.
the
Yeah.
lamp's. Oh yeah. The lamp's back.
What's that TV? That looks like an old ass black and white.
That is a Vectrex. I did a video on that a long time
I
ago.
don't know what the fuck he just said, but I feel like I
You
should.
know what Vectrex is, man? What's wrong with you?
He had to like that's common
It's,
knowledge.
okay, it is a vector-based gaming console that came out in the came out like '83, I think.
Hmm.
And it has all these different slides that you put on it. Go watch my video. Just put Visit T
I
Vectrex.
might have seen it, but it's been so long.
I just put this in context. I wasn't born yet. I just wanted to be stated, okay? When that
Okay.
thing came-
You weren't born when he made his video.
What
No,
are these? What are these? I wasn't born. You know how many movies I watched that came out before I was born? I mean, what is that? What is that defense that you youngsters come up
You know
with?
what?
I
I
wasn't
watched
born yet.
on Saturday. I watched a movie
Music I listened to.
I finally watched a movie that came out before I was born. It's like one of the most influential, talked about sci-fi films of all time. Came out before I was
Before you
born.
were born. Is it Space Odyssey or 2001?
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
the beginning with the apes. I never just
Look
sat
at that!
down.
Look at that! Movies that came out way before we were born. Well, no, I don't know about way.
But I just now seen it. I'm ashamed of myself. Not that I loved it or anything. It's just
Yeah.
I like having an ending to discuss, and people can still discuss it 50 years later, like 55
Right.
years later. They can still try to figure out what the hell. Stanley Kubrick was just on some
Kubrick,
shit, man.
That's just Kubrick.
I don't know if he
Yeah.
even knew, or if he's like, let's just throw this random shit and see what people and trip people out.
Yeah, I was thinking about like because you were talking about fantasy or just like movies when we were kids. I was thinking about the '80s and how movies, like especially like kids movies, felt different. Like there was like this Eastern kind of stark Eastern European kind of vibe to them,
Mm-hmm.
like Never Ending Story,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, or like it
Labyrinth.
had a different vibe. Labyrinth, yeah, they had like a different feel.
What was that
Like
other one? The Dark
a harder
Crystal.
edge, Dark Crystal. They all had this hard edge to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I wonder if they tried to do that. That was just how it came out. You know, like
Welcome to the movie podcast. I gotta say, I heard about the movie, and I saw it was on Peacock. Somebody on the Discord said it was good. Puss in Boots: The Last
It
Wish.
is.
oh, I could
Yeah,
have
it's
told you
good.
that.
That's a
Yeah,
good
it's
ass movie.
Oh yeah,
I was
I have a
laughing.
I had a friend who made me watch that film and went, I went, all right, it was worth it. GG's.
And as a cat lover now, I was dying when he was in that lady with all the cats and getting acclimated to being surrounded by all the cats. I was belly laughing. I love
and
that.
I was worried because it like wasn't doing well. Then all of a sudden, I guess word of mouth, it started to pick up, and I was like, oh, thank God.
And I never even
Right.
seen the first Puss in Boots because I was so over Shrek then that I didn't even. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Most people are just surprised at how good it is considering
Right.
what it comes from and how long it's been. Because it's been a hot
Like, it
minute
was
since the
like-
first one.
I felt for him when he was running from the wolf there. I was like, damn, I'm feeling that emotion, his fear and everything. Like they
Yeah.
they really sold the animation style. It was amazing.
it was good, and it did so well that they're like, "Oh, Shrek 5's coming."
Yeah, and it's on Peacock. They even have the 4K UHD HDR version. And it looked amazing streaming it. So I was just like, man, I was skeptical. It was one of those, this is like the darling pick for people. Everyone's saying it's good and stuff. And I mean, 10 minutes in, I'm just laughing my ass off. It's just, it got a little bit at the end, a little bit of just too much happening, but I liked it. And but yeah, what's up? Hobbit on Hole? We got the Fonz part. Lenny. We got Cray. We got Matthew. What's up, everybody?
What did Lenny say?
So I want to start. We'll get into the movie stuff more later, but I am annoyed by the wordplay, if you will, the corporate misdirection. The largest opening for an animated film.
You didn't need to do that.
It's fucking 5 days versus 3 days. It's not even a
fair.
competition. It's not even close. I think it's 2 days was like, or 3 day was like 204 million. Frozen was like 360.
Which is still pretty good.
Yeah, but why? People don't question it because why would you? I mean, at first I didn't, and then I was like, oh, Frozen 2 was a 3 day total, and Mario's a 5 day. Why? It's so. Like, I know you watch football. They do the same shit with.
Yeah, they do it. Yeah, they do it.
Records get broken.
I was just about to say that.
A 14-game season. Jerry Rice had 2,000 receiving yards, and then in a 16-game season, Calvin Johnson had 2,050, and they're like, "Oh, Calvin Johnson broke his record."
It's like
two additional games. It's not even like I don't even understand it. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. But
it
bugs me that people do that.
Because they need to have that head. They need that thing.
Couldn't you just say? I mean,
did fucking well.
Sonic 3. Now they're gonna open the same before Easter on a Tuesday, and they're gonna beat it because that's the opening. Right. What's the limit? Can it be Monday through Sunday? Be the opening?
Just start Monday. Just start, whatever. Just start.
Spring break Monday.
You can.
And just be like $1 billion in 7 days, but it's the largest opening.
You know what it reminds me of? This is so inappropriate, but it's such a great joke. It reminds me of guys measuring their size, but they start way behind.
Yeah, somebody starts at the balls. Somebody starts at their taint.
It's like, that's not fair. You're not doing this shit right.
Trail's not feeling that. I don't know if he didn't hear you, if he's just busy reading.
No. Well, I went to go look up the.
You didn't hear? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
sorry.
I got no reaction from that.
I mean, 377 over 5 days is crazy, but
that is great.
What do you think Frozen 2's 5 day was? If it was 3 days, it was 360. It was probably like 400.
Frozen 2 should beat it because it was the first one was such a huge movie. People were anticipating the second one.
And trust me, I wish it was just straight up 3, the same amount of days, I wish.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit there and celebrate some it's like when a movie comes out and it does like 18 million and it's like the #1 movie in America. Morbius, and it's like, oh, it did 14 million. It's the #1 movie, but it sounds good. It sounds good.
I actually don't mind that. I think that's
because that's true. I mean, it's just true.
It's true. It's fair play because it also generates buzz for your movie that clearly is not doing well. So you got to make it sound good. So I get that. That's fine. But adding more days on, that's not. You don't do that.
It's like some movies they say they're coming out on Wednesday, but they'll have a Tuesday pre-screening, and then they'll count those, and then it's like, yeah, you're just adding half a day on top, trying to get as much in the opening and hoping that will people see that, say, oh, I better go see it.
Yeah, and then they add little qualifiers too, like, oh, the biggest opening for such and such week or such and such days, or
or this time biggest opening for Easter. For Easter weekend,
when it was 63 degrees outside. Like, what?
They've been doing that. I wonder.
So stupid.
So Frozen 2 is obviously #1 for 3 days. Yeah. I wonder what #2 is for like 3 days. I wonder what the list is for 3 days openings, no matter what weekend, just Friday to Sunday for a movie open on Friday through Sunday total. I wonder what it's not
record. What you think it would be. You would think, oh, Avatar. No,
Avatar had a slow start.
Slow start, the first one.
I want to say it opened at like 50 million, like the opening weekend.
Yeah, 50, 60,
in the
something like
U.S.
that.
I don't think they started doing box office global until
No.
the U.S. started declining, and then they had to.
Right. China, come on.
Apparently, it didn't open in Japan, Mario. I don't know why.
No,
Yeah,
it comes out later this month.
That's the thing. It hasn't opened in certain
That's so
markets yet.
stupid.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, a lot of
Of
people.
all the
well,
places to open
you-
late, Japan, like really?
You know what it reminds me of? Console launches back.
The
before-
opposite, yeah, version.
Well,
Yeah.
to be fair, in Japan, movies.
Oh yeah,
tend
they probably have to cut
they-
out some stuff too for the Japanese
Yeah, in
audience.
Japan, a lot of films come out later. Although
Well, the mo-
it's weird. It's weird because for this film, it's like 4 weeks of a difference, and people are like,
Yeah.
"Really, 4 weeks? Like,
Cut
I can
out some
see-
stuff. You want the movie to be 60 minutes?
Well, they might add in some more stuff back. Maybe have I don't know. I don't know what's like the
Japan's always been like that. It's a little weird
something
for that
sexualized
film.
they could add in that they'd take out any little hint at like
For
death
I don't know. For this film, it doesn't make sense. For
But,
other films,
you know,
sure.
Asians like cats, so they're gonna love this movie because only Asian people like cats.
Dog,
I
don't
know
bring
if you
that up,
heard
man.
that.
I was so furious. Don't bring that shit up.
Furries and Asian people, the only
Hey.
people who understand Mario in a cat suit, but
But the fucking New York accents were offensive. Fuck
Grace
you.
Randolph certainly didn't understand it.
Donnie,
Fuck
yeah,
you.
they got to cut out the most random things sometimes for the
Sheesh.
Japanese
Yeah,
and Australian rating systems.
Yeah, they do
Yeah.
that.
It could be
Yeah, I
just
don't-
something just so what we wouldn't even
Like they
think
do with
twice.
China, they cut the black people out.
Yeah, China does that too, but Japan. Maybe I was thinking China. Maybe he's right.
No, China's really bad.
China's really
bad.
extreme, but Japan also
Yeah.
has some.
Japan does cut
No,
out
everybody does to some extent.
But
yes.
I think China's the more
China
notorious.
Is like,
China is way more egregious.
It's insane in China.
Until he has
But
like
yeah,
a
well-
China doll behind you. What is that?
No, oh, that's my wife's grandmother. She gave that to me before she passed
You
away.
could say it's from
It's-
Fatal Frame or something. It looks like it. It could be.
No, it's a Japanese. What do you call them?
Geisha?
Geisha.
Geisha,
Yeah,
yeah,
geisha dolls.
Yeah,
That's
she gave it
cool.
to me.
I wouldn't. I mean, I like. I don't know. I wouldn't like collect a bunch of geisha dolls, but I like the what in Japan especially the art of like painting figurines. You know, like whether they're
Yeah.
super sexualized or like just trying to make like a Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator or something, and they just have such skill at painting. It's amazing. Unfortunately, there's not
Yeah.
enough YouTubers that have I watched every video possible. Like 6 months ago, I haven't checked to see if there's any new stuff. But all right, let's get to gaming first. I don't have a lot to talk about. I did play more Resident Evil 4, and yeah, it's still fugly, but I'm actually enjoying it a lot playing it. It's just
What chapter are you on?
I just started chapter 2. I mean, everything's brown, mud.
Oh, I forgot
I
to.
think that's where I
typed
stopped
it in the
at.
chat, but I put in the chat. I didn't actually hit enter.
Mm.
So my thing was, yeah, stupid from boomer shit right there.
Oh, no.
The thing was that I typed was, I guess this is a new gaming trend where you add microtransactions after the game releases and gets its score and gets millions of people to buy it, and then you drop microtransactions.
I feel like that's happened before.
That
hasn't
shit
it?
I don't like. Yeah, it's happened a couple of times. It happened in Gran Turismo, whatever the new one is.
Yeah.
PS5,
7.
and there's another game. There's another game I can't remember.
Yeah,
What else
there's a
do they
couple
do?
of
Because
times.
Resident Evil
Kinda.
just added a free mercenaries mode to RE4.
Yeah, but then they added like some. Look, it bothers me the most. Obviously, it's way worse when you're doing multiplayer stuff. It's like, pay to win shit. It's not that. It's some single player shit. But the thing that bothers me about that is that shit used to be already in the game. You unlock it, or you get fucking cheat
What
codes.
is it related to the mercenaries?
they're-
Is it microtransactions related to that?
I think it's like,
Because that's like a free to play.
I should have fucking looked it up. I just got wind of it. Like,
I know the RE2 and
ago.
RE3 remakes had costume DLC and it was way overpriced.
I think it's costume shit. Or
Yeah.
I think it also actually helps you.
Is it for
skip-
is it
skip-
for Resident Evil?
Yeah, Resident Evil 4.
Hold on, let me
remake.
see.
I think it actually helps you skip like certain parts of the game or something like that. I remember I
As long as I
heard,
can,
I think I heard somebody say something like that.
as long
Crash
as
Team, yeah, that's what it was.
I wish they
Red
would
Gun.
put some, like, there's some cool alternate costumes in past Resident Evil games, and hopefully, you know, they still have some that can be unlocked. Now, if somebody wants to, I mean, I've seen some, I don't know if they're real or not, Ashley costumes. I don't know if they're mods. I'm guessing one of them was a mod.
Yeah.
Could be.
And it's
Did
like,
Chocobo Racing do that shit too, or was it already just egregious up
it was
front?
just trash from the beginning. I don't know if it had
Okay.
microtransactions, but
Oh, it had microtransactions out the ass. That was one of the problems, and like it was like a lot of DLC shit too. They locked away from the game.
Immortals Phoenix Rising did that too. But honestly, I think I had beaten the game before I even realized there was a store where you could spend real money. And it was,
Yeah,
I mean,
that is a full complete game. I'm not worried about.
yeah, but I mean, and the stuff was hideous too. It was just crazy what they were charging people for that. And
But Ubisoft did some shit like that with not that game, but with Watch Dogs. I just realized Watch Dogs Legion,
Yeah.
where they fucking have a whole DLC thing with Aiden, the main character from the first game. And I think that's just bullshit. How you gonna charge somebody to have, for a main character of the game? I
it's
don't
like
that
charging
shit.
somebody to have the hub world of the first game
Yeah.
in the third game.
Yeah, and this is a game where you can literally
I wonder what you were
Unlock
referencing there,
anybody?
Juice.
any NPC
Yeah.
walking down the street, you can unlock them to play as them. But you're fucking gonna charge me for Aiden. What is his name? Aiden Pierce. You're gonna charge me for a main character from a previous game. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, Lenny said the thing they cut is just the grind for mercenaries, because that's like
Okay.
a free to play edition. So it'd be like Halo's free to play mode. Obviously, there's money you can spend. You don't have to.
Okay.
I haven't even
But there's a
touched it.
grind, so you would buy this shit. You know,
Yeah,
that's-
it's the free to play. Even though I don't know if mercenaries, if you have to have RE4 to get mercenaries, then it's kind of
I
that
think
makes.
you do.
Because I noticed I said free update mercenaries. Like, maybe I'll check it out, but I didn't.
But Mercenaries is cool though, and then they know people are gonna play it, and it's just and people are gonna want to skip the grind, and that's just that's just what people are gonna want to do.
I will say though, man, I'm so shocked that I didn't see or hear more people talking about just how ugly that game looks. I know it doesn't even feel like 60. I keep saying I'm gonna switch to the resolution mode, but you have to reboot the game, and I didn't do it because it doesn't feel like a 60 FPS game.
Well, I was gonna say it don't look ugly to me.
I mean, I'm not even like trying to be retro death exaggeration. The closest thing to it for me is Hellblade, playing Hellblade on the Switch on my TV. Yeah. Like, it's not as low quality, like low resolution, blurry looking, but it's like the PS5 version of Hellblade on Switch. It's muddy. Everything's brown. The like the fence boards are brown. The ground's brown. The leaves are brown. It might be more of a color palette, but it's also, you can tell the resolution's dipping to hold the frame rate. And I'm
playing the Xbox version, so I can't.
Oh, you're playing RE4?
Yeah, I just finished chapter 2. That's where I streamed it actually. Wednesday. Wednesday.
I didn't check your Wednesday stream.
No. I switched once I finished the charity stuff. I switched.
I don't know, man. It's just not appealing visually to me. Now, I've seen some nighttime or some indoor stuff that looks great. So, but
have you had any issues with the game in itself other than the way it looks?
No, I mean, I'm finding it more trial and error-ish, or I don't remember the GameCube version, me restarting encounters, because, I mean, the main first village area plays just like it did, but the second area, when you get close, when you're heading towards the like windmill area, and all those people coming from all over, just like 2 different times, just this huge non-stop waves of enemies and I'm like, damn, I wasted so much ammo. I'm restarting. I just load up the previous autosave. I did it like 5 times because I kept shooting at the damn dynamite in their hand and missing, so I waste 3 shots, and then they throw the dynamite and hit me, and I'm like, I wasted like at least
Did
12 shots.
did you kill everybody or no?
I did. And
Okay, because when I went through it took me like 4 tries because I was like, what is I didn't know RE4 was this persistent with
I
enemy
don't think
waves
it
and
was
shit.
in the. I don't remember the GameCube version having that many enemies. Like,
Because I just wasn't prepared. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And what tripped me out is like I kill all the enemies in the bottom. I go up top to the little top area right above the little house. And then I see like another wave. I'm like, what the
Mhm.
fuck is this? I'm like, where are y'all coming from? I almost thought they were popping into existence. I'm like, where the hell are y'all models at? Because this is getting ridiculous. It took me a minute. I will say I fuck with the inventory a lot though. I have a lot of fun messing around with the inventory.
and then you
And
get a lot of money from them though. I went and upgraded my weapons after 2
I
rounds.
have all the main weapons you can buy from the shopkeep already.
I haven't bought anything. I just upgraded my shotgun and my pistol.
Nah,
Somebody
I
trying to
wouldn't-
join?
Robert
That was Robert.
Oh,
This is
But,
gonna be interesting.
I don't
'Cause,
see.
Well, how was
you
your
see him?
first experience with the village, the chainsaw? There goes T, the chainsaw guy, the burlap sack.
My first interaction with him was some shit. The second one, when you run into him before you get to the house where you have to do that puzzle, wasn't I killed him the second time, so it wasn't bad. But like I said, I already had like the one thing I'll say is Resident Evil 4 lets you get like 4 or 5 weapons pretty early in the game. I'm like, bet I'm about to turn Leon into a problem. And then I realized the thing is when I play RE2 and 3, getting like quality weapons almost made the game a joke. The thing about this game is one, I missed the dodge from Jill.
Mhm.
I missed Jill's dodge, and two, you just getting hit with waves and shit. Like it's not even having good weapons. It's just being in a position where you can fucking like not get mobbed in like 4 different ways. Because
Use
I'm
the
like
dynamite to your advantage. You can have them throw it to take out a group for you.
I'm hit and miss with that. Sometimes I got it to work, and then I would die, and then other times I wouldn't get it to work.
All kinds of people trying to join.
And we're gonna. It's what the Mario movie does. Also, I highly suspect I'm gonna just make a prediction. Juice is gonna have the most negative review of the movie, between everybody. All right, actually, I know that. If I know that,
I don't know if T's seen it.
T is the only one I
I
would
haven't
think.
seen it yet.
Oh, you didn't see it.
Oh, you haven't? Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I know. Then yeah, Juice, you
I
got
didn't
the
get a
most negative
chance.
review.
Well, I was sick, and I was sitting right next to a super loud speaker, getting my eardrums blown out. So it was kind of a bad experience. But
Oh,
I
really?
might go Wednesday and watch it myself before I take the kids.
you know what? Have you ever had like a head cold where if you sit there, you almost feel like you got a buzz from drinking alcohol? Like you're just
Yeah.
kind of like. That's how I felt the whole
Mm.
movie, and even up until even a little bit today, definitely yesterday. So I honestly I think I zoned out multiple times. I don't even remember certain aspects. So I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
which is
like give
true.
my full assessment or judgment until I see it again at home in about 39 days. It should be on Peacock. So I'll be watching it in higher quality fidelity because I can officially say that I have a superior image quality to my local cinema now. It was close before with my old projector that T bought from me or is buying from me, but now I definitely feel like
Hey,
I'm
you don't have to say
surpassed.
buying. Just say bought.
Yeah, like you make it sound like y'all in the middle of the process. Well, like T gave me the
Like, I
money.
got this shit, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
mine
it's yours
pretty
now.
much
So then the question is like, just you got the money?
now we just have to fulfill the payment.
Yeah, but I'm talking about that's what
He's
it
talking
is.
about buying a 4090. I'm like, pay that projector.
Hey, I
Hey,
can do it.
man.
I can do it.
I have
It's
no
just,
doubts. I don't even have
you know,
any
it's-
worries. But anyway,
It's is that a practical thing for me to do right now? That's what it is.
Oh,
I can
my
afford
Lord.
it,
I beat a Metroid Prime remastered also, and I only had 74% completion. I don't know what I missed.
yeah.
I was at 150 missiles. I think there's like 200 or something. I wasn't gonna go look for them.
I got 100 way back in the day. I'm good with that. I don't
Yeah,
really
it's not
try
like
to
it's my
do that.
first time through, and it's
Right.
like I still took me like 16, 17 hours, I think, according to the save
Did you
file.
get it without looking shit up, or?
I'd have to look anything up. I thought I had all the artifacts because I was finding them, but I still needed 5 more, so I only had 7.
And people think you got to scan everything. You just have to scan the red shit, like
Yeah, yep.
you know.
Right towards the end, though, like, I wish I didn't save because then I could have went back and got a few things. I hadn't scanned the 10 missile replenish because they look similar, but they have like 3 missiles kind of.
Yeah.
And I was scanning something. I'm like, why is this missile ammo solid red or whatever or yellow? And I scan it. It's like, oh, new entry into the logbook. I'm like, oh, that gives you 10 missiles. Shit, I didn't even notice. But I mean, I really enjoyed it. I will say, I said this to Clocked It.
Chrono Trigger.
Even with the enemies they've designed, I still feel like the side dodge is pretty much useless against bosses. And anytime there's 2 space pirates or more, you're just basically a bullet sponge at that point. You can't dodge. That little side dodge is not effective. And I hope for Metroid Prime 4 they go into the mobility. They do something like what they did with Dread, where they give Samus some really cool mobility options. I would be kind of bummed if they kept it like 1-to-1 with Metroid Prime as far as the move set. But overall, it's still a great game, and it still holds up really well. I'd say the negative about the Switch version is having to hold X and then the D-pad to switch your weapons when you're fighting the enemies that change. You have to Space Pirates where you have one, or the Metroids that split. One will be pink and the other, burgundy-ish, and one will be white. So you got to switch from the ice beam to the wave beam, or if that's what it's called in Prime. And there's a bit of a lag when you're like, you hold X and you tap it and nothing happens, and you're like, shit, you're getting hit. It was way more convenient with just the right stick, but overall,
Is it just me, or sorry? Oh, I thought you were done.
I just say overall it was really good. The
Is
improvements.
Retro just trying to load in here, or is it just me?
I didn't see him. I'd be shocked. I guess I thought he was still working,
Yeah, it must just be me then.
but he
You
did.
talking about me?
No, Retro.
Oh,
Robert,
no.
you got a massive delay, so I don't know. Your
I'm on
audio
the
and video is
little-
not synced,
Little
Robert.
bouncy
I'm
cube
on the
things.
website.
Why are you on the website?
You on Wi-Fi
Everybody
or
ship
something
on
or
the
something?
Apple-
Oh my god!
Your quality's terrible.
The app, because I'm on the website. Remember how the website used to be?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why aren't you on
Why are
that?
you on? Why are you on the
Because the
website?
app is being a pain in the dick, bro. This is like the second week in a row where it doesn't. I turn on the camera, and then it just pauses everything, and
You-
it's like, what? When
You
I
don't
turn
have
the
you don't
live
have
stream on,
anything
Oh, no,
else
no, no,
using your
mine's-
camera right now? You don't have like
No,
anything
when-
open that's
To
using
be
your
fair,
camera?
when I pause,
No.
when I turn on my camera, it pauses temporarily for me too. But
Like if
that's
I
a
have
normal
OBS
thing.
open, which is already have access to my camera, and try to open
Mhm.
Discord, it won't. It don't work. I
I
have
have
to.
to just uninstall and reinstall it.
Yeah, because it's probably worse than it's ever been.
bad?
Yeah, you're probably 5+ seconds delay from
Yeah,
your audio
you're
and
right.
video.
You can't even say.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yep, about 3
really
seconds.
It's
Yeah,
really bad.
it's really bad.
You
All right,
can't,
all right,
you can't
I'll
even
just-
say
I'll
you're
go
doing a
try- I'll go
Japanese
try
dub.
it.
You're bad. You're behind, bro.
Okay.
Did you restart your
uh,
computer?
Yeah.
Huh.
There was a certain Nintendo troll
Okay.
that used to go around Nintendo channels and harassing people, and he used to make videos using his 3DS. And I was like,
Who
wow.
the fuck? Wait.
Wow.
Who is that? T, you.
I'll tell you
ever-
about it later. I don't want to put it out. I
Ah,
don't want to put it out there.
We're gonna
If he's
talk about
doing
that
it on
later,
a
bro.
3DS. He needs to get blasted.
Yeah. Well, we used to make fun of him, but
So
Yeah, we do.
Sandstorm, random question: are you still playing Hogwarts, or you finished that game?
No, dude. I'm still playing, but it's hard because I'm under a lockdown of my brother-in-law or my brother's wife, so my sister-in-law. She does not allow me to play the main story unless her and the kids are around to enjoy it too.
Jesus, I'd be like, so cool. Maybe on the second
Oh,
playthrough.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it's oh man, it's horrible. I'm like at first I was like, okay, cool, I can do all the side quests, that's fine. But I'm done with all the side quests
Mm.
for that part, and I was like,
Mm.
now I'm just.
Yeah,
toiling
Robert's got
around.
an issue. I wonder
He
Wonder
probably
what
has to update Discord. What was that? Oh.
maybe he can just uninstall it, reinstall it.
The police.
Is Discord like on the
I heard
Windows
the-
store, or is it you just go to the website and
No,
download the app?
you just go to the website and download it.
So
Yeah,
I meant to, I intended to get Hogwarts at some point, but now with just everything, just now getting to Resident Evil 4, and Tears of the Kingdom will be out by the time I finish that. I have Sekiro, haven't even opened. I have Darksiders 2, I haven't even opened, and I think I got one. Oh, and The Last of Us Part 1, I haven't even opened. I was gonna restart that after the show, and I was like all up on the hype.
You're actually gonna play Darksiders 2? Oh shit!
I intend to. But yeah, I mean, honestly, Tears of the Kingdom, and I don't know, that's gonna take up so much time. I'll probably have that and a game on PlayStation to kind of go back and forth.
Darksiders 2 is gonna make you miss dungeons if
Yeah.
they're not in Tears of the Kingdom.
Well, they are. Dungeons are in Breath of the Wild. I don't know. I thought we had this debate.
Yeah.
Hey, it's fine if you want to just classify anything where you kind of going somewhere, do something and fight a boss as a dungeon. I don't like to use that general term for Zelda games. I don't like to even use it for
everything could be anything. It's 2023,
Yeah.
man. Whatever.
And I don't. Retro's not in the chat, but if he's watching this, in the debate last week, I think something got lost in the shuffle, and I guess reviewers were using the term revolutionary for Elden Ring for open world game. I disagree. It's not revolutionary. I would say it's a revelation of modern. I'd say modern gaming. It's revolutionary in that the lack of hand holding in this big open world, but I wouldn't say it's like game changer for open world games.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Not post Breath of the Wild anyway. And remember how crazy they were going over comparing like the HUDs. Oh man, the HUD is completely clean and free, as if you couldn't do that in other games.
yeah, I was fighting against that. I made a whole video about how
I remember,
Horizon could be played like you can turn the HUD off. You can play
Right.
it. It's not designed as well as for like running into random encounters. Like you're probably gonna waste way too many hours in Horizon if you have all the HUDs, all the quests, no guides, no objective markers. You're probably gonna have trouble playing Horizon.
But
Elden
the
Ring.
point still stands. The point was you can do that in other games. There's nothing new or special about it.
Yeah, and the fact that some people were using that term, or I would say the new standard for open world games, is kind of applies because, yeah, you're not just like, here, follow this yellow line on your screen or on your mini map, go to the thing, get a mission that tells you where to go there, do the mission, tells you where to go back to the person, go back to them, and they tell you mission complete. To me, that is kind of modern, non-Breath of the Wild open world game design. And I think, for me, I do think that that's the way forward. And even Neil Druckmann said he wants to take away some of the hand-holding in their games at Naughty Dog. So, but I do still believe, there were some incorrect statements made and whatever, but I'm gonna let it go. This is the last. I might mention it in joking. If something comes up in the future that relates some contradictions and stuff, but other than that,
Oh Lord.
So there you go, Retro. You're not here to defend yourself, so I'm not gonna say anything else. Other than I agree, it's not whoever said it was revolutionary was idiot, but that no way, shape, or form meant that was absolute freedom to do whatever you want, go wherever you want, without any restrictions. That's my stance. Other than that, Terrell, you said Resident Evil 4. Did you made progress in Elden Ring?
Yeah.
The worst boss in the game.
Radon was done, and that ended up underground.
Yeah, because that opened up that section underground.
Yeah, so I've been exploring that, and then I found that fucking, I think it's like a gargoyle, and when you get halfway through its health, a second one shows up.
Oh, jeez. That's the hardest fight in the game for me. Second hardest,
Dude,
probably.
That's the reason why I was like, you know what? And so I had this. I got my ass whooped too many times. Like, you know what? I need to go back and rethink what the fuck I'm gonna do because this is not.
I think I might have
Man.
used like a giant sword for that fight. Like I heard that blunt.
Because you can
blunt
knock
weapons.
it down. But then I found out that if I go back to the round table, you can get the armor set for when you beat what's it, Radon,
You can
right?
get it for every boss. That gives.
Well,
you...
no. Well, I got his, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't have enough endurance to like wear the full outfit." So I've been low key grinding to build my endurance up so I can rock the full outfit. Because
You don't got enough endurance. That's what she said.
Man, what were you up? You were just doing strength. I definitely had the stats when I got that, but I wasn't. I was kind of spreading out, and I did a lot of endurance.
I focused a lot on strength because my endurance was already pretty high to begin with. The problem is that it's now getting to the point where it's catching up. I mean, I'm like, oh fuck, I need to go back and really push in endurance so I can start rocking a lot of these outfits. Especially because I've been using an old outfit anyway.
That's one of my that's one of the cooler aspects I think is going and getting their weapon and outfit. They're some of them like Robert's having trouble.
That's some serious trouble.
I just see him in
what's
the back.
Was it Renala?
Yeah, Renala.
Her like magic attack, you gotta have like intelligence of like 50 or something. Or 60. It's ridiculous. Or it may have even been higher than that. I'm like, nah, I'm not even buying it. But yeah, I think that's a cool aspect where you can go, you can turn in their rune for the ability to buy some of their weapons, or you can use it for their great runes, or not their great runes. Their what do you call it when you defeat them? What do you get from them? It's basically you can turn it in for a lot of runes if you want. But
yeah.
Kind of gives you, and one thing I will say, people talk about the freedom in that Elden Ring offers, and it's not just the exploration. It's the freedom to build your character how you want. It's the freedom to play how you want, close range, long range. You can use spirits. You can not use spirits. You can summon help at any point. You can play solo. You can play online, offline, where you have the people running around that can give you tips, pointers.
We don't have a problem with options, do we?
And it's literally, I mean, this is somebody who loves both games. It's more open in the beginning than Breath of the Wild because there is no Great Plateau force you to get the 4 things. You really can. Elden Ring, you're just free. You want to die a couple times just so you can get the horse because that triggers it after you die a few times. But other than that, you can go wherever you want. Immediately. So anyway,
we don't have no cool Sheikah pad though.
No.
So
let me pull that iPad out real quick. I can see everything now. I'm God.
Other than that,
years of Twitter videos about how cool you do some weird shit.
Oh no, cheat the game and everything. It's fucking great. Break the system.
Oh. But I don't know. Sandstorm I don't know if he saw the Mario movie. T didn't see it, so we can. The one thing I will say,
I'm not worried about it. I mean,
there's nothing we're gonna tell you.
Well, I mean, if you want to keep it like just restricted on how much, like if we're just talking about general opinions,
I'll just tell you this. This is my opinion. I don't think there's anything other than kind of, you could call it a surprise in the opening 20 minutes that I thought was a cool idea. I don't know anything other than that.
I think I already know about that.
That wasn't just shown in the trailer. For me personally, there wasn't some big cool moment that like set piece thing that wasn't shown in the trailer or a TV spot. For me personally, I didn't think there was any like, oh my god, I'm glad no one spoiled that for me like moment for me. I think the trailer, it's one of the few times I feel the trailers really showed too much and showed the best stuff. Not everything.
That was my worry.
Not all the best stuff. I think the best jokes were all shown in the trailers. For me, there wasn't anything funnier than the funniest stuff in the trailers for me personally.
Well, my main.
There's a couple of exceptions, I'll say.
the movie was going to be short. You know,
I didn't
say short. That's an average movie. You know.
Yeah,
in the
it's
90s.
average. It's average for animation.
It's average
but
for
it-
animation, but not for
But
me.
it feels short.
I don't
it feels
remember. Honestly, I don't know how long like Kung Fu Panda is and stuff. They're probably close to 90. I can't think of like the last
I'm
time
pretty sure.
I sat down and watched a 90-minute movie, like a new 90-minute
What?
movie.
But Puss in Boots is about 90 minutes.
It's an hour 40, but yeah, it's close. But like to have that cut, like absolute cutoff at 90, I don't. And that's with the credits. And
And a lot of people were saying that they could have used another 10, 15 minutes.
I think-
maybe.
I think
would agree.
for sure.
I think, but that's why I said I want. That's like one of the first things I said in the chat was I want an extended edition because I'm
Yeah.
not.
And you know there is one. There's got to be.
Oh
They-
no, you can tell there are things that are
Yeah.
cut out.
You know
Right,
the
in the-
trailer
in the
where
trailer.
Mario gets the cheap on his face and Princess Peach is struggling to pull it off and she does. It goes on Toad's
Yeah,
face.
that's not in the movie.
They show
Nope.
it grabbing, sucking onto Mario, and then it cuts. It's in a part
Right.
of a montage, and I think that was actually a funny. I think that was one of the funnier stuff
That
from
was
the
pretty
trailer.
good. Yeah.
Get it off, get it off! And here in the animation of Peach trying to pull it off, I thought was funny. And it's just like, why was that part of a montage?
So what I want to know is Big Bertha in the movie.
No,
There
Do
was
you know
it.
who Big Bertha is?
Not in context of Mario.
no.
She's basically a giant
Chi
Chi-Chi.
Chi.
from
Yeah.
Mario 3, I think.
No, she's
Mhm.
not.
Was it?
There
3?
is a water creature that you would.
Well, you don't even really see
Well,
it though.
I'm just saying that because if you remember, people, make fun of the original Super Mario Brothers movie, and they should. It's just terrible. But they put a lot of shit from the games in it. It is just unrecognizable. Right? So there's a Big Bertha in the original Super Mario Brothers movie. It's a big black chick
Mm.
in a red costume.
That's funny.
That was their version of Big Bertha the fish. It's just
Terrell,
like
do you
this
think
big
there was like
black
some
chick.
big like reveal or Easter egg character? I can't think of one from the games.
There is a nice the section. I don't want to. It's a section after the Rainbow Road sequence when characters get separated. That character is a good reference if you knew who it is, which almost everybody does. It's one of the most
I
famous.
don't know who you're talking about. Which two
It's-
characters or which characters interacted?
What happens after the Rainbow Road sequence?
To who though? I mean, it cuts to two different things.
Is that
It's-
the only
it's
Mario and
Kart
Donkey
shit?
Kong, or
Mario and Donkey Kong.
I didn't see anything there.
The thing that eats them.
Well, yeah, I mean, they didn't even show it though. Like
Yeah, they did.
a glimpse.
No, you saw it like twice actually.
Yeah,
When he first eats them, and then towards the end when they're about to get out.
I mean,
The
it's,
point is, it's a very recognizable.
I
reference
guessed
to-
what it was from, but not visually, just based on what they said it was.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it was.
Tell
I
her,
went,
Mario
oh,
64
I went-
reference you talking?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mario 64.
All right. So I'm just gonna get the disclaimer out. My theater, I sat in my normal spot in the back, and now there's a new speaker there. I mean, it's literally here's me, here's the speaker. I could touch it,
Oh fuck!
and they had that movie probably twice the volume of any other movie I've ever seen there. And so I'm getting the back surround channel, and there was times where I barely hear the dialogue because the music coming from that speaker. So I moved away from it, which helped, but at that point my ear was just blasted and I was sick, so I was like zoning out a couple times. So maybe they showed that thing more than I realized, but to me I was like probably the last 40 minutes were a blur, and you could blame it on the uncomfortableness of the audio and me being sick. So I don't really want to
Not a good experience.
I don't really want to judge the movie 100%. This is what I feel, but I will say, after the opening was so damn good, I was grinning ear to ear. Mario and Luigi in Brooklyn trying to start a plumbing business. I was like,
Did it feel like the Super Show?
it just felt like, my God, like I never knew I wanted this, but man, do I want more of this. I wish I would have been happy if the first movie
whole
was
movie
just them
and-
trying to be plumbers in Brooklyn. Honestly,
Yeah,
I was digging
that would
it.
be cool.
They gave me more of it than I thought we were gonna get. I thought we weren't gonna get like none but like.
And that's
5
one
minutes.
thing they didn't show much of in the trailer, other than the the little
Yeah, a
commercial
lot of
they
the
made.
Brooklyn stuff. A lot of the Brooklyn stuff isn't in the trailer, except for like the very
And
beginning
I was
of
like,
it.
this is amazing. Sonic movie, kiss my ass. Like, this is so good. And then they go to the Mushroom Kingdom, and he meets Toad, and then everything after that felt like the movie was on 1.25 or 1.5 speed. It just like there was nonstop. They never stopped to breathe after that. It was just.
Yeah. Well, I hear that in everybody's review. So
See, I heard
Yeah,
that
yeah,
it was
it's very, it's
I
very
heard that it was
fast-paced.
light on plot, but I never really got the impression that they just blew by any and everything. It was just like Mario and Peach talk for what, 30 seconds? Oh, now you're going to come prove yourself and do this training montage, and then it's like, oh, now we're traveling. Now it's a montage, we're traveling. There's no Peach and Mario just talking as they're traveling.
I feel like the plot stuff is from people who just don't know modern Mario or just don't know, Mario games in general, because, from what I hear, again, they don't explain a lot. They just throw things at you from the games. And if you're, a fan of the games, you get it. And so you're not bothered by that. And I think they feel like the average person who
I
doesn't
will
know
say-
Mario's world would be confused by the plot or lack thereof. because
It
they
wasn't the
don't have
lack of just like a plot. It was the lack of like characters interacting, talking to each other, bonding. Like it just to me it was just like it was almost like a like I said, I felt like it was just like all this awesome visual stuff happening, lots of Mario stuff, but
Do you think
I
3D
almost
would
felt
enhance it?
like
'Cause I want to see it in 3D.
I was going to, but I didn't. I almost felt like as somebody who knows everything, like how does Mario know that that leaf he's about to grab is going to give him something that he can use in this moment? Like that wasn't just from I didn't know the Tanuki suit existed. I didn't know what the leaf meant. Why does Mario know what the leaf meant? Like why is he chasing it down like he knows it's about to help him do what he needs to do? Like that's
There
the
was
kind
no
of stuff.
setup. Nobody explained.
No,
it.
there's no setup like that.
Oh,
So
I mean,
that's just
so
one little
that's kinda
example where
I put
that
it this way, I'll say he adds more surprise with certain power ups. Like when he first uses the cat suit, he's like, what the heck is this? And then he starts like experimenting with it. And then he's like, oh. Now with the Tanuki suit, that one's in a more action oriented set piece. So you don't get that same level of like, oh, this is what it does. Like it's very
it's
much
like
like
it's almost like in the Wizard, the movie, which Super Mario Brothers 3. Get the whistle and you can warp to World 4 or whatever. And they've never
What?
seen the game before in their life.
It never how you know there's a whistle in this
And
because they don't.
So that's just a comment on the people saying, well, I don't know, how does none of this stuff's explained in just in the context of what the movie showed. That particular example, I would say they just cheated and said, well, we're just going to have Mario know he's about to be able to fly.
I will
Right.
say for me personally, it's very much the way I took it was the way it's introduced in the movie about power-ups is just like you grab one and you get stronger. And literally
See-
Mario's like, bet, I'm gonna just do that. And he does that throughout
Yeah.
the whole film. So that's the
Well,
way
see,
I
for
took it.
me, that's cool. Again, as a gamer, we understand that stuff, but that's the thing that you could actually that would enhance plot. That would enhance like story. Is that
No,
you
that's
get a
fair.
montage sequence of them explaining the power ups and what they do, and him learning how to use them. Instead of just being able to do it. Like that's
There was
something
plenty
that
of
should be in
montage
the movie.
sequences. I don't know if I want another one, but
Well, I
that
don't
one
know
would
about
have
montage.
worked.
Okay, maybe not
Just
montage, but
show him
just
learning.
show him
Yeah,
right, learning
just-
how to use it. Like, and
That-
that's a simple kind of you would expect that from most movies, kind of thing.
And that would help the people who didn't know the material.
Right.
Like none of this makes sense to me. Why? Like Grace is the worst example, but
Oh,
why is Mario in a
absolutely.
cat
Don't even
suit?
Don't bring that bitch
Oh,
up. Terrible.
she doesn't know it's one of the most popular new power ups probably in the last 10 years.
I hate that fucking review. I hate it so much.
But,
It's such a bad review.
the biggest part of it was the offensive thing. Offensive?
It's yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
what?
just-
That's so demeaning to his character. Like, are you kidding me?
Bitch, you don't even know his character.
What the fuck are you
Yeah.
talking
Somehow,
about?
she had to look up in the game somehow. I had to look up in the games that Bowser apparently has a thing for Princess Peach. And I'm just like,
what? Yeah, like
I'm
That-
like, bro, get the fuck out of here, dog.
we've known this since '85.
Again, to be objective, as somebody who knew all that, I didn't feel like the movie set up why like Bowser have a crush on her. I didn't even get the impression that
Or
they
why.
had met, that they even met in the movie.
No, I don't think they had met. I think.
But why did
he
he
just,
like? I'm like,
he
why
was
does
in
he have a crush
her
on her, and why is he all worried about
Oh,
Mario? Based
they didn't
on
show little
because he
scenes
could.
of him like fawning over her
they
secretly
showed
or anything
scenes
like.
of him
No,
fawning,
yeah, he
but he
definitely, yeah.
Okay, well
but they didn't
that's enough for
show.
me.
They didn't like even hint. They kind of it kind of felt like he was a new threat to them. Like he wasn't something that had been they've been dealing with for years. That's just how I felt. Again,
Yeah, I would. It's kind of played that way. The way I always
knowing
took it
Odyssey,
was
it makes sense, but not knowing Odyssey, I can understand somebody being like, "What is? I don't understand."
when you see Bowser like fawning over Peach, my thought process is that he's into her, but she has no idea that any of this is going on. Because when he like comes down and they finally interact, and he's like, "Well, you really know how to make a guy come out of a shell." Like it's
Yeah, but again,
and it's like she's like, "What the fuck is happening?"
speaking for somebody
she's
who,
thinking, well,
but just
right.
show some kind of like you could just show where they cross paths in the like at some point before he tried to make his power play and get the star and stuff where he said hi to her, she kind of just maybe she was waving to somebody behind him, something in the past, just a quick little something to set up that hey, he's got this thing for her and she doesn't care about him at all.
Yeah.
Us knowing the games know that that's the thing, especially
Yeah, I
Odyssey.
mean, they're both monarchs. Maybe you could have added on a little something where he wanted to join their kingdoms by marrying her or something in the past, and she rejected him. Like that. That could be a cool,
And
quick
maybe they
little
cut a
thing.
scene out that had something like that. But
Maybe.
I'm just looking at it objectively from I know all that, but it still in the movie didn't really convey
Right.
that to me. That
Yeah, I can understand them. I can understand the audience member who is in tune to Mario. I think even if you are, you would want something like that.
because
In
of course
there.
you want. I mean, I want Bowser to be secretly in love with Princess Peach or
Yeah.
trying to win her over. That's what he did, especially in Odyssey. That's what he does.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they did that, but at the same time, if I want to just be fair, I don't think they established a basis for that, and it just kind of happened in a scene. I'm like, oh, okay, they're doing this,
Yeah.
but
I just think that they probably just made too many assumptions. Like
I
instead of
think it's
thinking
one of
about
those situations where the creators knew it
right,
and they forgot. Like it's almost like
that the audience may not know it.
yeah, it's like you're
Yeah.
too close to it. It's like when I'm like just staying in Mario. When you make a Mario Maker level, I know all these little intricacies or these secret stuff. Then I watch someone play it on a live stream when they played one of my levels, and they just ran past and ran to the end of the level,
Yeah.
and I'm like, man, there's so many cool little things they missed. I knew all
Right.
that, but I didn't
Or
think
they don't know
about
how to use the goddamn cape.
yeah, but I didn't think about just somebody's not gonna find this. It's fun for me to hide stuff, but
Right.
I know this level in and out, so somebody else.
People just beelining for the end and shit.
So Sandstorm, I'm guessing you've seen it.
Oh yeah,
All right.
you know.
You wanted it? What should we? Well, the three
Does
of us.
Miyamoto need to retire?
Do you
Huh?
want no? Do we just? Why don't we just go with a letter grade as a baseline and then expand it?
Letter
Okay.
grade, that sounds good.
I give it an A minus, man.
A minus.
I give it a strong A minus. I would say that out of any video game movie, this is probably the most video game movie that I've seen.
Okay.
I could. Okay,
Even more than
Uh.
Pixels?
Bruh, how dare you? How
Never
dare you?
seen it. I'll never
How
watch
dare
it.
you bring up that fucking film? What
Even
the
more
hell?
than
You know I gotta do stuff like that.
Man,
even
geez,
more than
geez,
Battleship.
geez.
Oh wait, Battleship was a board game
Oh,
Where they did the
Why not?
Battleship-
Wait,
where they did the see.
Rihanna was
No.
my favorite character.
No, I
Okay.
liked what's
I
her
love
face?
Rihanna in Battleship.
What was the Sports Illustrated swimsuit model's name?
Oh my god.
She's-
Yeah,
I
good.
don't know.
Nobody remembers.
She's not a good actor, but she's
Jeez.
definitely worth looking at.
We didn't. You think
And
she
that's
was
why she's
hired
in there,
for her
'cause she-
acting ability?
She's in there to look at, because
Exactly.
that was a Michael Bay cosplay movie. A wannabe Michael Bay movie.
Listen,
So my head cold, ears getting blown out experience, trying to just think about the movie itself and not the bad experience. I'm struggling to go above C+, to be honest.
Mm.
I told Terrell it's to me the Sonic movie is better. The first Sonic. Sonic 2 is not better, but Sonic. That's based on one viewing and a bad experience, so I don't know.
So wait. And when you told me the Sonic movie, were you referring to the first Sonic movie? I'm guessing. Okay, just making sure.
I was pleasantly surprised watching the Sonic movie. I've seen it 2 or 3 times now.
It is a fun watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say this because I disagreed when he said that. I said
What? The world was upside down.
No. So this is where I'm at with it. Ranking wise, I put it about at a B plus. I'm in the middle. I put it like a B plus. I was struggling with A minus, but I think objectively it needs to go to B plus. I said it was better than the first Sonic movie. I would debate the second one though.
So I think, but it's still not a conclusive loss to the second Sonic movie. It's a debate.
The second
Wow.
one I'm very back and forth with because there are things I like.
What
about
part of the
Sonic
second
movie.
Sonic movie? Before the wedding or after the wedding?
Oh, the wedding.
That's part of the reason why it's hard for me to give it to if
That wedding, man.
the wedding thing is rough. But I like the
drags it.
fact that it leads into the gun shit. That's
true.
That's the only
I actually
thing
had
that
fun
saves
with
the
the whole
wedding.
post-wedding stand-up sequence. I thought.
Well, I'm
that was
glad
fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. All right, my thing.
More and more shoving. I can't.
My thing. So my thing with the Mario movie is the Mario movie for what it because the reason why I said it was better than the first Sonic movie was simple. The first Sonic movie to me was just doing the best it could with a bad situation. That's what I don't like because the first Sonic movie is essentially doing the human. I mean the animalistic. The main character being put into the real world, that shit. And I'm just like, I hate that plot line. And for Sonic, I really don't want to deal with that shit. But if I have to deal with a movie like that, that's a pretty good film. That's the way I looked at the first Sonic film. Mario is very much the kind of film I wanted from the first Sonic film. A movie that was in universe
Right.
and properly respected the IP the whole way through. And that's why at baseline, the Mario movie, it respects the fuck out of its legacy. Like to an absurd
It
degree.
respects it, but at the same time, a lot. Even like one of the better fourth wall breaking Easter eggs.
Yeah.
It's so briefly you could easily miss it. Talk about somebody blow on it or something to make it work.
Oh,
you could just easily miss that. It's like in the background with Toads talking.
That's
There's
a
some
good thing. You don't want them to shove
I'm saying
berries and shit in your face every
but
5
a
minutes.
lot of it was like you could easily like miss
some
it.
of it is really in your face.
Some of it.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
See, I would rather. Anyway, go ahead.
The reason why I probably like it more than Juice. I love the Mario and Luigi relationship.
That was the best part.
That's something I always
they handle it so well. There's even a couple subtle things here that my only problem is that it doesn't get expanded upon. This is like little subtle thing they bring up when Mario and DK are fighting. I love Mario and DK's relationship. They're like fucking fighting all the time. It's the funniest shit to me. To the point where
they should be. I mean, that's in character.
But there's like a cool subtle thing they mentioned where when DK's introduced, he's trying to get his dad to like pay attention to him, and his dad's not. Cranky Kong is low key ignoring him.
Spoiler.
Cranky's in the trailer, and he is objectively the worst cast voice actor in the
that voice is
movie.
the worst. He has.
How do you mess up Cranky?
It's so bad.
He's all right. T, I'm gonna just.
Everybody
T,
said that. Literally.
No. T, I'm gonna explain it simple to you. He's too young. He sounds too young.
Yeah, he does.
When you hear his voice, you're gonna be like,
he sounds like that.
He
the dude from Transformers that plays the secret agent, what's that guy's name? That he's a really good actor, but he was in the Transformers playing a
John Turturro.
Yeah, he kind of sounds like a younger version of him.
Yeah, like
really?
It's not even close to
here's my
Cranky
thing.
Kong should sound.
Cranky's supposed to be like 80 years old. This dude sounds like he's like in his 40s or 50s.
Yeah,
it's kind of jarring.
He sounds like he's getting up. He retired early.
Let's
yeah,
look
he
at the
retired
voice
early.
actor.
Yeah, it's just a bad voice for him, and he also just acts too young in general. Like that's.
Is it worse than the voice from the animated show? Nobody remembers.
I'm gonna
this
guess
shit.
So let's see
Yeah,
who
but-
voiced him.
Wow.
But what I was
Fred
getting to is that
Armisen.
Oh, Fred Armisen.
Mhm.
Really? He did a bad voice for
That's
Cranky?
terrible.
It's bad for. I don't think it's a
It's
bad,
bad for
voice in
Cranky.
general.
It just
Yeah,
doesn't
Yeah, it's
fit
just
at all.
bad. It's bad
Yeah.
specifically for Cranky. That's the problem.
I haven't heard one person say anything differently.
yeah,
Oh,
he.
man.
It's just
Even
not a good
Vicky
voice.
said his voice was disappointing. She gave the movie a
He's like-
minus.
He's like, I do these things, and I do these things for you, Cranky.
Oh,
It's like-
no.
I mean,
That's
He's
actually
supposed to be my
that's a good.
son.
Yeah,
He's
that's,
supposed to be my son.
that's
It's
a
not-
good. That's a
it's-
good. That's a good impression.
Oh,
Not gonna lie.
no.
let me go through the chat here
Wow.
because Donnie Art said C for the story, A for animation. Heart and Soul said B minus. Vicky said A minus. Lenny said B minus for adults, A for kids. We had another. I think somebody said another person said C. I think Donnie. Then he,
Solid B.
so
Yeah,
Solid B.
and
I
the,
think it's very much a film that would be kind of average if it was like handled if like the animation and the love was handled mediocrely.
No.
But the love and the respect to the IP is what bumps it up
Oh.
above like, average.
Yeah,
did you go back to the website or what?
No.
Oh, he's-
There we
It's
go.
synced.
I did
He's
a
got the
jillion
English.
different downloads and stuff. I downloaded the public beta or whatever of Discord,
in
and
the
now
world?
over.
What the
He's
fuck?
finally in English.
Were you listening?
PCs,
Yeah, I was
man.
listening. I was listening.
So you can give your score since you're.
Give it. What you give it, man?
I'm at like a 8.5.
That's actually lower.
No,
than I
you
thought
said
you
A
were gonna give
plus.
8.5 out of 10 probably. I didn't say A plus. That was retro and clock.
I thought you said A plus plus.
No, you know I don't.
8.5.
No, first of all, you know I don't give letter grades.
Mm. Well, you gotta stick to the
Give numbers.
format. We're all doing
He's
letter.
like, he was like, first off, I don't do that shit.
So you gave it a B.
Yo,
I'm at an 8.5 and potentially a 9. I want to see it again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta see it again. I'm gonna see
It could potentially be a 9 for me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I
But
think the
I'm at 8.5.
runtime is actually really good because if it was 3 hours, then nobody would probably want to go see it again because
No.
it's so short.
I think.
And not only that, I think that helps the box office too because you put more fucking shows in a
You
day,
build more screens.
I-
right? And you put more
Yeah.
screens. So
when they
that was a
when they
good
cut
move.
the cheap joke down into the
that's a
montage,
little, yeah.
I'm like, that had to have been. We gotta hit the 90-minute mark. I
We
can't
gotta
think
hit
of
90
any other
minutes.
reason.
We're so close to
cut
90
that
minutes.
out.
We gotta hit it.
Oh, 100% they're hitting they want to hit the 90-minute
Because
mark. I know that, of
For
course.
me, the reason that it didn't like hit, I love the beginning when Mario and Luigi is trying to be plumbers in Brooklyn. I'd give that like easily A. I love that part. Like I was
Really?
all about
I
it.
can't believe you preferred
story was
the
crazy,
Sonic
man.
movie over the fucking.
I was
Mario
all
movie.
about
blew,
that.
Yeah, blew my brain to bits.
That
I
is
don't know,
a
like,
weird statement to
You
make.
have to hear a lot
What?
from Retro and Clock did that.
Everything after that, it just felt like they're in such a damn hurry to get to the end so that they could end the movie so they get more people in the seat or to see it again and get more viewings per day. There's no other reason to rush through some of that stuff. Like
all right, let me ask you this: in my brain, this stuff is not gonna spoil the movie for me. But in my brain, the Mario Kart sequence, Rainbow Road, whatever, in my brain, to me, that was like the equivalent of the pod race from episode 1. Is that a correct assessment?
pretty
Yes.
close.
And what
Okay.
do you mean by that?
In
All
my
right.
brain,
It was good. It was definitely good.
in my
So it was like
brain,
a big event inside the movie that is very memorable.
Yeah.
in my
Yeah, I would
brain,
say- I would
it
say,
was
yeah.
Alright,
it was
sweet,
the majority of the third act, not a couple minute scene that we
Well,
see.
that's
it was
what
longer
the
than I
pod
thought it
race
would be.
was.
It was
The pod
longer
race
than
was
I thought it
It's
would be.
longer and it has a nice payoff at the
I
end of
thought
it.
it was
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah,
I
like
don't
the
want to. I
the
don't
third
want to
act.
spoil it. It's a good payoff at the end of it.
I was
Nice
assuming
film,
it was
really
the
good
third act.
yeah,
not-
it does.
See, I was totally disappointed by how that ended.
The end. Really?
Yeah.
Jesus,
Man.
what the fuck?
Again,
Crazy.
Yeah,
They
I
showed
can't agree with that.
They showed
I disagree with
the
that
best
completely.
moment from that
wanted with that. It
in the
even gave
trailer.
you a little bit of darkness that you wanted, a little bit of more emotion to towards the end. A
They
little bit of
showed
like,
the best
oh,
moment from that in the trailer, in my opinion. When Mario flings from one
disagree.
cart, lands on the other, grabs the shell, and throws. That was the
I
coolest
disagree.
moment
What?
from
No
that.
way.
Yeah,
The
you
better
don't.
thing is even afterwards. To be
You
honest,
really
Yeah,
wasn't feeling
absolutely.
good
I
that
agree.
day, huh?
I agree with Robert.
You really
And
wasn't feeling good that day.
I was annoyed by the The thing that happened afterwards, and it's a pet peeve of mine with movies, is let's have something happen. Oh my God, something happened. And like 40 seconds later, that problem is solved, and they're moving on. I just
I don't like a movie do that.
It's
either.
like, come on, like, why did you even bother? Just like,
Especially when there's a big setup for it.
So I don't know. Like I said, I was.
Well, I think the reason they did that is they wanted to do something with two specific characters.
And I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't buy. I didn't feel they were bonded.
And I think it was a good. I think it was a good way to do it, and I enjoyed that moment.
I don't think those two characters earned any kind of bond by the end of that movie from what they showed.
I would disagree.
So the amount of Easter eggs in the movie, which is absolutely overwhelming, didn't save it for you.
No, well, the thing is, I don't even count it as. You know what's funny?
There's a lot of stuff on screen.
A lot of people count that as like Easter eggs and all that stuff. And while they are technically Easter eggs, it's a goddamn Mario movie trying to be just like the games. Everything that is in the games have to be in this movie because it's trying to be in that exact world.
Yeah, I think people are counting Easter eggs that aren't really Easter eggs. It's just
I'll
tell you something positive though. The beginning, he meets Toad. Another thing, Toad probably doesn't have any dialogue in the last 30 minutes of the movie. Maybe a few words here and there. I kind of feel like
it's Toad. Who cares?
I know. I kind of feel like they wasted Key. But so he meets Mario, and they're walking, and then you got what I think they were in 3D World first, the little different colored beetles, and then you have
the things that go over you,
the legged thing,
the leg thing,
Reno or so. What's the world?
Those are
that was a surprise that they threw Toastarena up in that.
And it's like, oh wow, this is really cool. I like. And then after that, they get to the city or whatever, and then it was just like fast. I didn't feel like they took any time. The only time they kind of stopped was when Peach was in the field with the fire flowers and had a moment there, and I'm like,
they gotta say.
Did you like that moment? By the way, did you like Peach little backstory stuff?
I thought it was cool, but it wasn't. Okay. I just wanted more of that, less montages and music.
Was it as jarring, like it was in Odyssey, with the fact that I'm guessing based on somebody's review who spilled the beans on this. It's not a big deal. You'll see it in the first 2 minutes of the movie. That Mario and Luigi don't look like other humans.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that at all, honestly.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, because that Spike character, they definitely look a little bit more cartoony as compared to.
So it's not as egregious.
Not a ton, no.
No, not in the slightest.
New Donk City.
No.
Okay.
The characters do not look like in
New Donk City. But they stand out.
Yeah.
Not everybody's got the big noses.
No, but they do not look like they're striving for the
realism. But their proportions are definitely different from others that they show.
Okay.
It's like an Illumination.
And I will say, I freaking hate.
Agree.
I hate Illumination's dog design, and I wish they would just kill it and never bring it back because it's the dumbest dog design.
It's like a
Life is Pets.
Problem to have. What the fuck?
The DC Pets.
Did you like the moment with the dog?
Did you like the section with the dog?
I thought it was cool.
Yeah,
I just hate how the dog look. I hate their design for dogs. I have since Life is Pets.
I've never heard this complaint before. Okay.
Wow.
They do the same design. Even in the Grinch, they did it.
Buildings.
It's the same dog design. I hate them.
Are you just saying?
But
did Seth Rogen change their mind about Donkey Kong? No.
He barely talks anyway. I mean, I feel a couple of those actors. They got big names, but they didn't have a lot of. Like Luigi didn't.
There's only 90 minutes, man. They got.
I know, but
so Charlie Day didn't drive you insane with his.
No.
Charlie Day is really good.
He can't do that.
Charlie Day is one of the highlights.
That's good to hear.
Listen, if we're gonna talk about voice acting, Seth Rogen definitely is just being Seth Rogen.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because it kind of works for Donkey Kong.
But here's the thing: Peach is doing the same thing. It's just her voice.
It's just her.
But I would say the highlights are probably obviously Jack, Bowser, Mario, and Luigi.
We knew that from the first instance that.
Those three are like the standouts.
You can't deny Chris Pratt as Mario now.
Again, I love that.
Real quick.
I think Chris Pratt got his Alan. How you say his name? Aiden. What the fuck is the not Indiana Jones? So Han Solo. the solo guy, Aaron. What is his name?
Oh,
Aaron,
yeah. What is that dude's name?
Aaron something.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think Chris Pratt probably got his moment the way Aaron Ehrenreich, whatever his name is, got his moment where everybody was like, "Oh God!"
Alden Ehrenreich.
Yeah,
I don't know how to pronounce the name.
they you're close, close enough. They everybody was like, "Oh God, he's terrible an actor," and then you go see the movies, you're like, "Oh, he's actually pretty good. He was a pretty good Han Solo."
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's the thing. The
Chris
beginning, you got Mario and Luigi talking with other people, other characters. They go to fix the plumbing, and I'm like, this is great. But after, I mean, again, I was zoning out a little bit throughout the movie. I feel like Chris Pratt didn't have a lot. There wasn't a lot of Mario dialogue in the last 30 minutes of the movie, which is a third of the movie. Like, I don't feel like there was much talking.
I
mean, he said,
it
wasn't. I'm talking about conversation, not just shouting stuff out. You know,
but just saying, he's saying he's talking.
We're also in action sequence. Yeah, we're in action sequences.
But
that work?
At the end of the day, this is like such a fast-paced movie, and for me, a good way. Where you go on an adventure and it's a non-stop adventure, like and where the down points where like the Peach one, where the Donkey Kong one, and when they kind of do some other stuff, I feel helped it, and I think it was really good. And I would have maybe preferred it maybe be a little bit longer, like for some sections, especially I think the adventure part of it, like how we were talking about, like going to. I would like to see them stop at Tostarino.
I mean, literally the shot of the Yoshis in the trailer that's what you get in the movie, and the shot of like the desert kingdom.
That's what I'm saying. I would like to see that in like a little bit more.
I guess the trade-off to me, my point is this. I'd rather you give me a fast-paced movie where I want more from you than give me a long-paced movie where I'm like, holy shit.
Of the two, that's definitely the better option. But I'm still not gonna. I'm not gonna be happy. Oh, at least it was short. Like, no, I mean, yeah, you could say, well, you wanted more. That's a good thing. But I just take your time. What are you rushing to? Like, what are you in such a hurry? You've been working on this movie for 7 years, and that's what you came up with, like, for the.
Well, I think it literally captures for me. It totally captured what the damn story of the games are. Like literally, this is the story.
Yeah, but it's a movie. I wanted a movie, not.
But that is an understandable defense. But you are this is a movie now, so you have to do some movie things.
It totally works as a movie. That story.
I love how they incorporated a couple of the 2D section in the beginning. I like how they incorporated that, and I actually would have preferred more of that. So let me ask you this. Because I retweeted, not one person liked or commented on the tweet.
It's because I didn't see it.
On Friday or whatever, or Saturday,
because, Elon Musk owns
they showed a clip. It had to have been something from the movie that it was Toad. A Goomba was coming at him. He pulled out his frying pan. He hit the Goomba on the head and smashed it. And then here come a stack of 4 Goombas at him, and he ran away. That got me thinking. Other than Bowser like naming all his Koopas, Goombas, and whatever you are, was there one interaction with Mario or Luigi or Toad or Peach with a Goomba?
Yeah, there was at the end. Well, I'm not gonna say obviously specific, but at the end when there's a lot of fun action thing, there's some stomping.
Yeah.
Did you watch the movie, Juice?
There's some jumping on stuff.
Like, yeah.
It's really quick, though. That's why you
it was like a blink of an eye. It's like, come on, Goombas and Mario, that should have been that thing from the...
camera shot, it's moving camera shot, and he's going...
He ground pounds at one point, but you can't even tell what he ground pounded.
But let me ask you, how long do you see a Goomba in the game?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I understand where you're coming from, Juice, but it's just like... That was so 1986.
But let me show you the little clip, and then you tell me.
I saw I did see the animation, Juice.
To me, like on their journey, they run into Cheep Cheeps, and now you have them encounter Goombas for the first time. You could have played it for a joke too, because it's like, what are these creatures? What are these things?
Do you remember the elevator scene from the '93 movie?
We didn't see the Hammer Bros either, so I mean,
Yeah,
But I mean, the first enemy you encounter in Mario is a fucking Goomba.
I love the Shy Guys voices. The Shy Guys.
Shy Guys are really cool. That was
I'm gonna share my
Shy
screen.
Guys.
They are as freaky as you would think they are.
Freaky as shit.
Absolutely,
Actually, genuinely freaky as shit.
they went for
Did I
a
miss
different
that?
vibe. No, I think that's only
So
in
this
the,
is just like a short clip, but I'm like an expanded version where they like encounter Goombas. Like it could have been funny, and it's like it's the first enemy you ever fought. I just think like
To be fair though, that happens, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I guess, but I just feel like you would have you also would have said, oh, but this is just playing for a gag. It is what it is. Like, we need some more character.
well,
moments.
no,
He
they
needs to
could have
talk
made
to
this
man.
last 2
He needs to
minutes,
talk to the
not
Goomba.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, what are
I
these?
don't know.
What are these things? Like, what do we do with these? And then figure out you have to jump on their head. Like, I mean, come on, that's just an idea that I
They'll
had.
save that.
I mean, I
for-
get it.
They're gonna save that for the Goomba movie, okay?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
minions
I
for
will
Goombas.
say, I will say this, T.
I get what you're saying though.
The one thing you can look forward to, they didn't do any illuminationisms with
Yeah.
That's what I was
with
worried
the-
about.
They
none
did.
None of the Mario
No
enemies
fart
go
joke
through.
or anything. No.
Yeah, they kept
no-
it
Yeah.
pretty respectful consistently.
I will
That's
say,
surprising. I'm
So
surprised.
speaking of Bruce Randolph,
No one
is
wanted
this
to
actually
do
the worst Illumination film?
No, not at all.
That's what she
I haven't seen them
That's
all.
what she believed. I'm like,
Dog,
there's
that was
no
insane.
way.
He was like, yeah, she fucking killed
I
me
was
talking
so
about.
it's
disappointed
better
by
than
the Grinch.
Illumination
Despicable
doesn't have
Me
bad
2 for
films.
sure.
I was so disappointed by the Grinch, the Illumination Grinch. That
Yeah, the Grinch. Like what?
Yeah.
How do you
Is
fuck
it
that
worse
up?
than the Grinch? Are you?
Yeah.
Come on, lady.
Bro, people
on.
keep forgetting Illumination made the Lorax. We don't even talk about that fucking.
I haven't
Well,
seen
I
too
know
many.
that was such a long time
I
ago.
stopped
Yeah, it
watching
was-
Illumination movies
just
after
wanna put this in
Despicable Me
context.
2, pretty much.
She ruined all
Well, me
credibility when
too.
she sat there and said, "Oh, Illumination doesn't have bad films." Bitch, what?
Get the
They
fuck out
what?
of here.
Yeah,
It's like half their catalog. You fucking
Well-
kidding me?
I would call a lot of those kind of, for me, I would call, but like they're very mediocre. Like especially like the like Despicable Me 3. But I really like the Secret Life of Pets 1. I like Sing 1.
Yeah, they do well with their first films. They do bad with their
Just
second.
saying.
Secret Life of Pets 2 is actually bad. Like I actually don't
The
like that.
Sing
Right?
What about the
They
DC Pets thing? Who
they-
made that?
That's Warner Brothers.
That was Warner Brothers?
They rely way too much on the music and shit. And
Well, here's what I'll tell you.
They
The
did a good
that-
job with Dry Bones too. I really like the Dry Bones.
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
mean
Driving
that's
the
again, I guess another con for me is Luigi had that cool moment, and yeah, he's captured and stuff, but I just like, man, Charlie Day's so good as Luigi. I mean, maybe they're just, when they do a Luigi's Mansion movie, it'll just be perfect. But
Yeah,
I felt like I could have used a little more.
I know. I would like to see more Luigi, but like in this context of the story,
They
like
gave
it is what it is.
It doesn't mean like they were playing it.
They
super
gave him the
safe.
setup. They gave him the setup at the beginning. He's like, I don't like dogs. Okay, yeah, here it comes.
But I will say, the Illumination thing that bugs the shit out of me. At least they didn't do it at the end. They didn't have them do a musical performance, and that's DreamWorks too. Animation in general, animated movies do where the
Well,
everybody gets
American
together and
animated-
sings
American
together and does a dance
Yeah,
routine.
sure.
I hate that in animated movies.
Yeah,
They didn't do that.
Okay,
Thank
so
God.
there's one trope. There's one trope in animations that I really, really don't like that they seem to do in all of them. Is the and they didn't do it in this one, which I'm kind of glad that they didn't do. Is that main character is main character. Main character goes through a problem. They're really sad, depressed. Everything around them is all good. Then they just find it in themselves. They can realize that they can actually fly. The whole
They
Buzz
kind of do
Lightyear.
that in this
They
movie.
kind of do that a little bit.
Yeah, movie does
Really,
that.
it's
Every
really,
movie
it's
does that
really
to some
short.
extent.
Yeah, but it's really short. It's not
Mhm.
like oh, what happened to Mario? He just walked away. He decided
He
he
gave
didn't want
up.
to fight
He
anymore.
threw in the
Yeah.
towel.
Okay,
Yeah, we don't,
like
we don't,
giving
yeah,
up
we
and then
don't,
coming
we don't have
back.
to go, we don't have
Okay,
the
okay.
dragged out version of
Gotcha,
the arc.
gotcha,
I know
gotcha.
what you mean.
So I'll give you
Yeah.
a pro for the Mushroom Kingdom section. I like that
you
they
did like
showed Mario's determination to do that obstacle course. And they
Oh, yeah,
actually
that's-
took the time, even though it was kind of a montage, they took a few extra seconds to a minute to show you that Mario's not going to give up and he's going to just keep going. And that's the whole point of Mario games. You have to just keep
Right.
trying. You're not going to, if you don't beat the
gonna-
level
you're
for
gonna
10
die,
times,
get
you're just
game
going to
overs,
keep
yeah.
trying. And
There's
they
a line,
it
man.
And I love
implemented
the
that.
swallowing of the mushrooms, how he keeps going.
And even though he
going.
didn't like the taste of mushrooms, he still was going to do it. And that proved that he was a guy that was going to do whatever it takes. And then at the end, they played it for a joke at the end. That was the loudest laugh, honestly, at the theater when he about got to the end. And I was like,
I don't like the Peach line.
and
she
I
makes
liked,
during
I'm
them
like,
talking,
all right,
though.
you just set up Mario as a guy who's not gonna give up, and that's a good nod to the actual mechanics of the game where you don't give up, you just play the level.
So he doesn't give up. He you know, like
He
kind of like
actually
Luke
defends.
Skywalker, except Luke Skywalker tried to murder his nephew in his sleep. 'Cause he had a
That could happen.
Guy did.
Jesus Christ.
Mario
Oh
could
my
try
God.
to kill baby Mario or something.
right.
I
Man,
just
that
don't,
was awesome.
I don't like the so after the montage, him and Peach talk for a minute because she's trying to like console him and whatever, and she's like, oh, not everyone gets it on the first try, and she looks over and he looks over and he's like, you got it in the first try, didn't you? Yeah.
There's no way she got it.
And I'm looking
That
at
was
Peach and
dumb.
I'm like, is this what we're doing this with Peach? I'm like, okay, got
No,
it.
I didn't mind
Yeah.
that either.
Man, she
'cause
did
again,
grow
she
up
grew
there.
I thought it was
Up there.
funny.
Grew up there.
I thought it was
I
funny
admit-
that she was trying to
She's a
pretend like
monarch.
she
was
didn't.
trained probably
No,
from
no, no,
birth.
no, no, no. That would make sense but she didn't say.
But
She
they didn't
goes,
put
I
that in
got
the
it on.
story. That story that's backstory that they could add it and said, okay.
They do.
now it
Okay,
makes
so here's the thing.
sense why she's so
No,
good
no,
at
no,
this shit.
no.
They
I
actually
will say,
do a
I
little
like
bit, the slightest bit of backstory.
No, here's
They-
my thing. I like the backstory they give for Peach,
Mhm.
but like she's so y'all already know from some of our past podcasts. I already wasn't a huge fan of how they were handling Peach in trailers and whatnot. Because
They made her all woke. They made her all woke. Go ahead.
No. So here's my thing.
Nice and thick.
Here's my thing. No. Here's my thing.
Got that apple.
It's still after watching the film, it's still not a version of Peach I care for. But if I gotta have this kind of Peach, this is a good middle ground where she isn't like overbearing with it. The one thing I agree with Grace with is that the whole girl power for the sake of girl power shit.
See, I didn't get
She's
those
not-
vibes at all.
I didn't get that
she-
for this.
well, no, that's what I'm saying. It's a decent balance to where if I gotta put up with it, it's fine. She isn't like overbearing with it. Because my problem is that when you make the girl so good, it's like, why is the main character even there? They don't go they don't get that crazy with it.
I feel the same. I'm watching Mandalorian, and I feel the same way. He just bumbling around everywhere, and fucking what's her name?
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan is just saving his ass every 5 minutes.
Which one is she?
Like we've seen him. Whatever. Go
Wait,
ahead,
hold on,
sorry.
Terrell. What about when she's on the motorcycle and she's
Someone
she's
said
looking
it.
back at Mario?
Someone said it. I like them talking on the motorcycle a lot. Like
No,
the
no,
one
no.
that
I'm
I
not
will
talking
say-
about talking.
I know
I'm
what you're
talking about
talking
the view.
Someone in the review said it.
Yeah, there's
Somebody
an
in
ass
the
shot.
review No. Someone in the review goes. Someone in the review went. And just so y'all know, Peach got that arch, and I was like, huh? I was like, ooh. I said, you better jump.
If they add that motorcycle, if they add that specific motorcycle to the DLC, I'll buy Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Oh my!
That was a
God.
cool motorcycle design. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
counter Terrell because we seem to be opposites on everything. That was legit my favorite comedy moment from the entire movie. Was Peach realizing, trying to tell Mario, no, I didn't get it on my first try. You know, trying to. To me, that was just subtle humor where she's trying to like.
I liked it.
I didn't like that she did it in her first try, but at least you could have had it. She did it in
It
a few
sounded
tries.
like a real moment.
But she was
Yeah.
like, no, I didn't get it my first try. She's trying just to make him feel better and stuff. And it was, I thought it was delivered really well. And I actually laughed.
Yeah,
that was
like
probably
it goes for a couple like lines. That's
that's the moment that
My-
got me.
My main thing,
I-
the one, and just to lean back into that conversation, I like her and Mario's interactions in this film. That it isn't just overtly romantic immediately. Like they're
Yeah.
obviously low key flirting. That's cool. I actually like the joke that like Bowser is just seeing them together and it's fucking.
oh,
with
Yeah,
his-
he didn't
no,
even
that
see
is
them
true.
though. He
That's
just
funny.
heard
Funny
about
part
them
like-
together.
With
They're
the
like,
whole-
because
got a
here's
new
my
man?
thing. Because here's the thing, they don't go full in with like, oh, I'm not with Bowser. I'm over here trying to get with Mario. Like they don't go that far with it, right?
Right.
But they're talking, and him seeing them talk is enough for him. Like, oh, you cheating on me, huh? And it's just like, and it's
I
like,
just-
bitch, we were never together. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I
Like,
love that. I love that whole thing with when he's with Luigi, when Bowser with Luigi's like, "Do princesses find him attractive?" And then,
He's like-
I got a good face. just the way it was delivered, everything is that shit had me cracking up.
That scene did
Is it
lead.
just me, or does Bowser look like Jack Black?
He looks
Did they
like
put
him.
some Jack Black in his face?
Yeah, they must have
they-
used his
that's-
motion capture of his
Like
face.
Yeah,
so like his eyebrows or something.
Yeah, his
like that.
eyebrow, like the movements.
Yeah,
and
he
stuff,
is.
like-
I will say
Yeah.
that scene does lead me to believe there was more stuff cut that wasn't in a trailer, because he's already talking to Luigi. He knows that this Mario guy, I don't know if he knows his name's Mario at that point. He knows there's a human working with Peach.
He is a human.
He doesn't. I don't think he would know they're brothers at this point. I don't think.
No.
Well,
He just knew that
no,
he had
because
a
there's another
mustache.
human they captured.
Yeah, they just
said-
they said she's with a human. So he's asking Luigi, and then Luigi's like, "Yeah, I don't know every human that's wearing an identical outfit to me." I'm like, "Well, why would Bowser know that he's wearing an identical outfit to you?" So I'm wondering if there was another scene before that.
Oh, because
No,
he
I
didn't see
think
him.
he was, no, I think he was.
Isn't Kamek
He was
smiling?
feeling.
No,
he
but
was,
yeah, that's the
what
whole
was
thing
it
that's-
called? Vomit of the mouth. Telling too much information that you didn't.
That
need
could
to
be
tell.
what they're going for, but I kind of felt like, how does he just tied them? They're both humans, so that's why he was like, "Oh, you're a human and he's a human. You both are now in the Mushroom Kingdom." So he's gonna.
I do think
question
it was
him.
Luigi
You both
just kind of
dress
saying
similarly, you
because
kinda look alike,
because
and
he
you both
says
have
like.
the
But Bowser
Yeah,
hadn't seen Mario.
I'm gonna know
Luigi
anyone with
is
the same
talking a
person
lot.
with the same hat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bowser hadn't
Luigi
seen
is
Mario at
talking
that
a lot.
point. He didn't know.
Yeah.
I will say,
No,
I
but
will
that's
say,
why he literally gives him what he looks like in front of him.
Yeah,
I will
Yeah.
say, I like the movie's justification for their outfits in the beginning when they're
Yes,
when
that was good. Yeah.
when their parents are like, the parents like, what's up with the outfits? Like, what's with the gloves? Like, plumbers don't wear gloves. And he's like, and Mario's in the back like, hey, it's marketing. Like, we're trying to stand out.
Nice.
Actually, I love that joke a lot.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
one got a genuine chuckle for me.
That's
So-
why, like honestly, the more I talk about it, the more I think about it, I'm like, I might bump it up to a 9.
See, the
But
more I
but
thought
I
about
want to
it,
rewatch
the
it.
less
I want to
I,
rewatch it.
it went from like a B to like a C plus for me. The more I thought about
It
it.
went down.
Really,
but
it went
I'll
down.
tell you legit though, the thing that, and it's not just Illumination, it's just animation movies in general. And I found out afterwards, after I already didn't like it, is the composer who composes a track for that scene, and then that apparently, according to him or somebody else, said that they swapped it out for Aha's "Take on Me."
Okay.
That
Ugh.
I was cringing. And I had no reason. No one said anything about it beforehand. No review mentioned it. They're in the what did they call the jungle
DK
kingdom?
Jungle or whatever.
Yeah.
Here's this character that should have a moment, and they're like, "No, we're not gonna have him say anything, and then we're just gonna start playing Take on Me for 2 minutes while they go through this awesome
I
looking
mean,
world."
he was playing it in his Uber. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have.
And
to
then
say- he
the
didn't wanna say
composer
anything.
composed a freaking song that blended Donkey Kong Country with with the score and a theme, and they fucking
Yes.
cut it for Aha's "Take on Me," which didn't fit that scene whatsoever. And that's one of my all-time favorite songs, by the way.
Well,
Didn't
speaking
fit.
of which,
Did
Yes,
not
it
fit that scene. I was like, what the
No, it
fuck?
didn't.
what's up with
heard
Nintendo
some
not
reviews on
crediting people for shit?
Yeah, and they didn't
Done.
credit DK Rap from Donkey Kong 64.
Was it Grant Kirkhope that came?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? I obviously Nintendo oversees everything, but I'm sure there's something with Universal and Illumination that some.
No.
They did it
weird
with
thing that they
Metroid.
probably.
I think it would have been a
thing to
good-
do is you have to do it. It's a legal thing. You have
Yeah.
to give credit for that. The
Well, 'cause
lyrics are.
What I'll say is they also play. They only play 2 like straight up tracks, ripped tracks from a game, and the other track
Yeah.
is the fucking
Yeah.
Bowser
Oh,
Fury
yeah,
track,
Mhm.
yeah.
which I was like, oh my god,
Yeah,
this
they
is gonna
did.
be like, it's gonna be like what?
They played Bowser
Okay.
Fury track in
Yeah,
there?
The music when he
but
comes.
it doesn't say
Wow.
composed by
That's cool.
Koji Kondo or whoever composed it.
Mhm.
It says Bowser's Fury track from Bowser's Fury.
Yeah.
like it's,
Come on, man.
so the only 2 game tracks. Meanwhile, you have every other like license track has all the written, but the game tracks have just from the game, like this game. And I'm like, that's fucked
Licensed
up.
by Nintendo.
And it's funny
That's
because
why I no, it doesn't even say by Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like it just says from blah blah blah, and that's why I feel like it might not be it might be Universal because wouldn't Nintendo want to also credit themselves?
No,
You know?
that specifically is not Universal's fault. Nintendo has to say, okay, well, this is from this. Nintendo gives the credit for that for the
Hmm.
movie. Not like Universal can't just say, "Oh, let's go get the that from the game and who wrote." No, that's something that Nintendo specifically has to give them.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So,
because I don't know if it was Grace or somebody. They're like, "What's this rock music playing for Bowser?" I'm like, "That's literally his theme song in the last game."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude!
What's
I
this
heard
hard
it.
rock
Like,
playing for Bowser's?
He's a this death metal, he's this dark area. Like it
I
would
would
make sense. There's some type
honestly,
of
I would have
heavier
preferred the
music playing.
3D World awesome Bowser theme, but
And I was very
biased.
Yo,
excited
come on, the
to
Bowser
watch
Fury theme is great though.
her because she does a box office thing on the
Oh yeah, because she said the movie was not going to do well,
right. I was like chomping at the bit,
and all she did was praise it like
Getting ready to
OJ,
watch
like
it.
nothing had happened in
And
the
she
past.
tried to slide, yeah. And
Really?
she did say, "Oh, I don't understand why people." I guess she let it known that people jumped on her head about it. So she talked about
She
that
was fucking
a
wrong.
tiny bit. What it's like, there are
That's
specific things that you were just wrong about. That's why people got at you. She was trying to act like she didn't know why people were so,
Mhm.
I guess, vicious against her or whatever. Because there were specific things like you said specific things that were just bad. Like, first of all, offensive. Wrong. That's just wrong. Worst Illumination movie. That's just wrong.
Mhm.
like so you said these things that were just
That's like a retro
categorically,
death.
factually wrong. Right. And so
Retro
take
deathism.
some responsibility. I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
also said that Snake Eyes was one of the best films of the year. So
Oh no!
Damn.
And she
Right.
had to get educated on how big the Mario, how many billions of dollars
Franchises.
it's made, just
Yeah,
the
like
Mario
how-
IP. And then she's like,
you're on the
But it's
internet.
Mario.
And
It's
she
Mr.
goes-
Video game.
Doesn't matter. This is Mario. You were literally on the internet before you logged
and
into
she's
these
done
damn
video
shows.
game stuff in the past. She's covered.
Well, the kicker is that she even mentions how she
Look
looked
the
up
shit
certain things.
up.
She looked certain things up because she references it in the review. She's
Right,
like,
and it's-
she looked up. Well, I found out Bowser likes Peach in the game, so you looked that up, but you didn't look up the other shit. Like, what the fuck?
How do you not know how popular at one time? Because she's a fucking Disney show. She loves goddamn
yeah.
Disney. At one time, Mario was more recognizable than fucking Mickey Mouse. These are things that you could relate to and talk about as
Yeah.
a person who's supposed to be,
Well, she-
reviewing and
She
making
pulled
these
an
videos.
OJ, and she's like all positive. Oh, it turns out that what'd she say? Hollywood wasn't, or the video game industry wasn't trying to get a piece of Hollywood. It's Hollywood trying to get a piece of the video game
Wait a
industry's
minute,
money.
what?
And she's
Wait
like
a
all
minute.
positive about it, but she did throw a little shade. I guess
Yeah.
that I didn't. She's like, I guess that the fans are really diehard, and they came out in droves. But will they show up for the next week? We'll see what the drop off is.
Yeah, she's waiting so she can dance and shit on that.
You wait for
It's
that
too
drop
late.
off.
She did
All
admit
I
there's
need
not
is-
another movie till Guardians 3. I think.
Right.
All I need is
But that's the
the
thing is
second
that
Mario
Guardians
movie
3 is its
Super
next
Link.
competition, and that's not
Right.
till May 5th or some shit.
They got some time here.
But Frozen
Had a whole
2 did
month.
really well and didn't hit $1 billion, and that had a stronger 3-day opening.
I think it's a 1.2 even. I think it's Mario. That's where Mario is gonna hit.
I'm
1.2.
Because of how short it is, how many viewings they can get in a day,
And word of
there's
mouth,
no
word of
real
mouth.
competition. Word
Yeah,
of mouth.
That's
word
the
of
other
mouth
thing
there.
though we didn't talk about yet. And I was like, before I saw the
What?
movie, I was hoping to wake up. I saw the first review was Jeremy Johns. He's a video game guy. Chris Stuckman's a huge Mario fan.
Mhm.
And I was like, all right, here we go. This is D-Day. This is the Sonic fans
Right.
they're gonna have to see the reviews, and it had a 44, and I'm like, oh, I'm not worried about it. I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes, but I wanted that extra
Yeah.
throw
Well,
in
it
your
went from a
face.
44
You want it
to
to hit like an 85
what is
or
it,
something.
57 now? How does it? That never happens either.
No,
Where
Well,
it starts off really low and it jumps like 10, 12 points.
I was hoping just to see
Even
that
then, though,
the
but
high,
it's like-
the
think it's some
90s, the
following
high
bullshit
80s,
is
the
what I think.
90s. Like, all right, people love this. Is the new standard for video game movies.
Most of their reviews, I feel like they were like people who have no clue.
The two reviews I watched are both
Nothing.
avid gamers, and
Yeah,
one's a
Jeremy Todd
huge
was- but
Mario
his was
fan.
only good time, no alcohol required. So I was just like, oh, maybe he's just being,
Even Chris
like,
Stuckman,
gotta be
he
in the
loved Odyssey and 3D World, and he's
Yeah.
like, it's a fine family film
right.
that kids will love. and he gave it like a mediocre. I was like, damn.
He didn't give it a mediocre. He liked the movie, yo. Like clearly, I saw that review.
I didn't see him give it a mediocre.
You can't say it was a. He didn't say
He
it was
wasn't-
mediocre.
he-
He didn't
for
say
him,
Like, he ended the day
his
saying it was a great
wording-
movie.
The problem
The
is
thing
that-
is with Juice is that it's very like with the wording. It like
I've
you can't
watched
have something that's just good.
when he loves
It's a-
something,
it's a
you
just
know he
being,
loves something.
Nah, that shit's in the the lower
He has a
half.
tendency to be very polite and not
Agreed.
super critical.
But
To
he
me,
was
that was
mostly positive for the entire video. So that's where I took it. Like he wasn't like crazy.
He didn't even say the
criticizing.
word mediocre.
no. That was my estimate.
You're
you know.
you're
Oh,
random
bullshit.
off of positive information.
Based on his conclusion, I was like, all right, he thought it was good, but he thought it was all right. That's how I felt
didn't
about
know.
it.
Here's the problem. Here's the
He didn't say
reality.
it was alright. He enjoyed
No,
it.
that
He
was
thought it
my.
good.
I said I felt based on what he was
Listen.
saying and his his.
Listen.
Now he's a director. He already had a
This
whole
is-
video. He doesn't
this
want
is
to be
the
super
reality.
critical on movies anymore.
Listen, this is the reality.
Yeah,
of
that's what I was
happened.
thinking. I was
Well,
like,
he
what
doesn't make
happened-
he doesn't make reviews on movies that he doesn't like. He doesn't.
And
do
he
that
also
anymore.
doesn't feel right harping on things, and like he said
Oh
that
my
now that
God.
he's
Which
made
is
a
why
movie,
if he didn't like it, he wouldn't have not made the video. Even that's what I'm saying. Like
he's still got to make
didn't
some
do the-
money off
he didn't do the
videos.
Eternals. He didn't do the Eternals review.
yeah,
Like
but
there's movies he does not do, and that's Marvel. Like he doesn't
That's a
do that
very
anymore.
valid
If
point
it's
of view.
if it's a
So I just
bad movie
listened
that
to what he
didn't like,
said
doesn't do it.
and listened to his conclusion. And I was like, all right,
And
he thought it
somehow
was
you thought
decent.
that became
He thought it was all right.
mediocre?
I didn't think it was like, oh my god, he really liked it.
You just wanted people to love it, and people
But
were just
again,
kind of like, it's
I
all right.
wanted the
Yeah,
people to love it.
Like again, that
course.
you gotta
I
understand.
wanted
There's
people to love it too.
yeah, but to say really liked it versus liked it, there's still two different things. He liked it. he
just
enjoyed
didn't,
it.
he just
And
didn't really like it.
underneath liked it, you start to creep in. Okay,
I would
it was alright.
say he would have gave it a fresh rating for sure, which is like 75
would
or
be
better. 70.5 or better, I think, is Rotten Tomatoes.
No, it's
Fresh.
no joke. There's a fresh could be a even as a 5.5. So a 5.5, if you can
Oh,
have
really?
it where it's a
Yeah,
fresh,
yeah.
or then the critic picks if it's rotten or fresh.
Okay.
So
But
that's what I'm saying. In the end of the day, and I always say this too, movie critics, I feel like don't really like movies. They as much as they like movies, like they're the obviously they're the most critical of movies, right? But like even on Metacritic, right? If you go on Metacritic, you know how you have for video games for everything, right? They have a green score means it's mostly positive, a yellow score when it says mixed reviews, and then red when it's mostly negative. Do you know when for
I
movies
thought Red was
specific?
good.
No. It's red is mostly negative.
'Cause I
Yellow
thought Rotten
is
Tomatoes is the green and the yellow and shit.
no. Yeah, it's weird. Metacritic is the opposite. Metacritic
Oh,
is
Metacritic, you're saying. Okay.
yeah.
sorry.
But now for movies specifically, movies become green, aka mostly positive when it hits a 60, a 6 out of 10, because movie critics are so fucking harsh for movies that
I thought it was still the green when it was in the 60s.
no, but video games it's a 75 or
Oh, we're
whatever
still
is-
talking about
is when it hits
Metacritic. I'm thinking Rotten Tomatoes. Sorry.
I don't think
No,
they're too harsh.
I
I think they
But think about
focus
it,
on.
a 6.
I think
If I
they
told
focus
Juice,
too
if I told
much
Juice, if I told
on-
Juice right now a 6 out of 10, he would not think that's a positive, good review. For
It
movie
isn't.
critics,
Especially gamers. Oh, 6 out of 10. That's trash.
but for Metacritic and for critic wise, a 60
that-
is mostly
Yeah.
positive. That's mostly
I
positive.
5.5.
Well,
Like if I go to IMDb, 5.5, I'm good. 5.5 and up. That's a good movie to me.
Because 60%, that means 40%
10.
like it, or
no,
I
no,
mean,
no, no,
6
no,
out of
no.
10
I'm
people
talking about
like this
Metacritic. I'm talking about no.
Yeah.
Forget about Rotten Tomatoes. I'm talking about Metacritic. I'm talking about
Oh,
Metacritic.
yeah, I keep
I
thinking
mean,
Metacritic.
6 out of 10.
But either way, that's
A
still more
60
than
out of 100.
that's more
so
than
imagine
average.
Right now, like let's say you saw a 60 out of 100 for the next Mario game, right? You'd be like, "Damn, that's really low right for next Mario." For movies, it's like, "Wow, they did a really
you
good
can't
job."
even No, you can't even get 60 out of 100 senators to agree on some shit in this country. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like that is.
But
that is great.
just to go back to was going in like, all right, I want to hear that they love this movie. That was my mindset, and I didn't hear
get
that.
it, of course.
And I was
mean,
like, damn it, I wanted this to be the
I wanted it to be like the fucking video game movie. Oh wow, they finally figured this shit out. This is
Yeah.
great.
Well, the critics didn't really care for it, but I'm looking at.
That's what I was gonna
audience
say.
But look at
the
Puss in
audience-
Boots.
think
Wasn't that
that
like
disparity-
90 something?
And it's very
Yeah,
between
Puss
the
in Boots, I
critics.
think is like a. I'll tell you right now.
How is it that?
So why did Puss in
Different.
Boots get some? I think Puss in Boots is just a better movie.
It's a
Personally.
95%. Well, I do think so, pretty
I
much.
don't
Yeah.
know, but the critics gave it a harsh score, and the audience
Boots?
gave it
Mm.
Are you talking
no
about Mario?
Mario.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Mario
yeah.
one. The
Yeah, but
audience
one
gave
of
it
my
a high
favorite
score.
comic book movies of all time, Batman versus Superman, was like a 30% Rotten Tomato or something, 20,
Right.
27% or something. So,
And
like,
I don't give it any.
I
think
I wanted that
that's
extra
bullshit. That's
bragging
bullshit.
rights
That's
thing.
Well, like
bullshit
for
ass
instance, listen to this. So Puss in Boots, the overall Metacritic score is a 73. I would bet you know most of the time you would probably think it's at least a few points higher, that movie, but that's like holy crap, that's nuts. Look at it, got a 73. Like that's huge. Not 73% for Rotten Tomatoes. For Metacritic, the average score is a 7.3 out of 10. So someone would like it would give it. It's just movie critics are very harsh.
Well, here's
for
the
for
thing.
movies.
Siskel and Ebert talked about this.
Oh god, Cisco.
And I kind of feel like, Robert, at some point you'll get to this. They see
Okay.
so many movies. They
Oh,
see so
yeah.
many fucking copy paste, cash grab, cheap. Let's get a movie out. Let's get a romantic comedy out. Whatever they had to watch every fucking movie. So when somebody actually puts in some effort, does something different, that stands out to them. So seeing like the 5th romantic comedy of the year with the exact same plot line, obviously.
Yeah.
But then when something like, what is it, the water one with Guillermo del Toro, that love
Shape of
story,
Water?
Shape of Water
of Water.
comes out, something completely no one ever even thought of a movie like that before. Then
Yeah.
they love it. That's kind of how I feel like critics have
You-
always kind of
that
been.
sounds good, but I disagree. That's how Siskel and Ebert work, because it's funny you brought them up. I've been binging old episodes of Siskel
Oh
and
yeah.
Ebert for the last 6 months. Like I just keep watching, and they are bullshit critical on some of the best movies that you've ever seen. So
Well,
that
they
is
also
a-
had to have
that's
that
noble.
good
to
cop,
think
bad
that's
cop
how
thing.
Well,
they
okay,
think-
okay. Like, let me ask you. So, what's one of your favorite movies of all time? Like for instance, Last Samurai in the background. Like, what do you think Last Samurai has as a Metacritic for
Well,
what do you
since that
think?
came
I
out
think I
before
actually know what it
Metacritic, I don't know.
No, I mean Metacritic's been around for a while, man.
Been
Like,
out
and
for
again, they-
20 years.
It's
Because remember,
based-
Metacritic could go back to and
Yeah, it can
get
go back because
reviews.
it's based
It could
on
go-
critic
yeah.
review. They just accumulate all.
What do you
I
think
want-
it has? What do you
I'm
think
gonna
it has?
guess it's based on the Metacritic. What you just told me for
Average
movies.
score. Average score.
I'm gonna say 75.
A 55.
Really?
55.
And
I did
so
remember that.
and so, well, that's what I'm saying. Is like I just feel like that's technically like for them, it's
Well, there was
it's
people
fairly
who
mixed, but
hated
but,
on
like,
the movie based for some stupid reason because Tom
That is
Cruise
true.
wasn't very
That is
liked
true.
right back then.
But
Wait
at
a
the
minute,
same
wait a minute,
time,
Tom
at the
Cruise
same
is the
time,
last samurai? No, that's not. That's
the
actually
same
not-
time,
He's
you know,
a
like-
Scientologist. Whoa.
you have things like as with everything, you have a review from Empire, right? Gave it a 10 out of 10, but then you have a review as low as a 3 from Salon. So it's like you're always gonna get mixed stuff for essentially everything, but it's always tough when you see it because I've
But
always
my
noticed
thing is, how
that
can it
movies
be?
just give really harsh critics.
How
like
can it be that
so-
much of a disparity between critics and audience, just general audience?
I don't
How is
know.
it that 96 to like it was started off in the mid 40s, 96 to what is it 56 now? I think
57
Well,
apparently.
Remember the
57?
days when? I don't think it was 300. There was where they started inviting like IGNs and nerds to review the movies first, and a movie would come out with 100 Rotten Tomato score out with 15 reviews, and it was all the nerdiest. Oh man, this is awesome! And then the general critics would get it. They would try to like delay that as long as possible, and then all of a sudden it just plummets. And it's like that's also kind of false too. Like, hey, we're gonna ask these people we know loves this type of movie.
No,
which
I know.
are
Like that's the thing
fans.
is that it admittedly like this Mario movie. Like I think people can enjoy it just as a movie, but I think, in the end of the day, just like how we always say, like, well, not all games need to be made for everybody. I think that's the case with anything. In the end of the day, like, this movie is obviously made in mind with a lot of fans in mind, and that's fine, and that's okay. And just like, not everyone's gonna get into Elden Ring because it's too hard, and it is what it is. Like, it's not made for you, and it's not made for you. It's not made for you. And it's just like with the one movie that I saw a few months ago, Skinamarink, horror movie that's like, you gotta really be invested in, just really like sit down, because it's a lot of shots of just the wall.
You
or
like
just the
that
roof
artsy
and stuff.
fartsy stuff, man.
here's the
I
thing.
cannot get into those movies.
I kind of agree with that sentiment, but here's the difference when it comes to like Mario, and we're not talking about Elden Ring, which is a kind of a niche audience type of deal. Mario is for everyone.
They tried to
Mario
make
wants
it.
think everyone can
everybody
enjoy it.
to play.
Well,
No,
that's
I'm not
the thing, I
saying
think everyone
everybody
can
can
enjoy
enjoy it, but what I'm saying is, when you
They're
make the
trying
movie
to
for
make it
Mario,
cover.
you have to make it for everyone. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's not just or for the fans, because that's what's gonna make it, what we wanted it to be, which is, oh man, this is the video game movie, right? When you actually put some backstory, add a little plot to it, things like that, that audience that goes to movies want to see, not just for the gamers, but audience who just general audience members who want to watch a movie.
Well, I still think this is a movie that general audiences will.
No, I'm not saying it's not. But general audience people are pointing these things out about the plot and that kind of stuff. The stuff that would have kind of elevated, I think, to the next level. So,
yeah, because
like all I know is at work there was someone that saw it and they thought it was that shit was flames. It was cool. That means it's gonna be good with the general audience.
Yeah.
Like that's it, and it's like it was pretty dope. Man. It's all right.
The thing that annoys me though is
the audience these days are not hard.
That's the average person review. That's what you're gonna get.
I mean, they watch the Marvel movies and think they're good. So
that's what
they don't make billions off of Marvel fans. That's all. That's mostly general.
Hey, to be fair though, Ant-Man.
Thank you. He's going there exactly.
Ant-Man wasn't like, look, even you even got me. You even had me where Ant-Man is literally like my Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is probably like my second least favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah, and before that, nobody was happy with Love and Thunder. Nobody liked.
How'd you feel about Ant-Man and the Wasp though?
I did like Ant-Man.
Because that's like top 10 for me. The first two Ant-Mans probably
I did like
10.
I did like I really like Ant-Man the original, and I also like Ant-Man.
That end fight scene was some of the most ingenious shit I've ever seen.
is getting, like, you would definitely think it's a bad movie.
I have no intentions of ever watching it.
It borderlines on a bad movie for me. I'm like it's all right at best.
I still need to watch it. Fuck.
But they are faltering. Like, the shows aren't that great, and then before that, even like a movie that should have knocked it out of the box. It made the money, but Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, that movie was not. The general sentiment is that it could have been much better.
And
it definitely could have been better. But
that's what I want to say about Mario, because one thing that annoyed the piss out of me on Wednesday or Thursday. What were you expecting? Academy-nominated Best Picture movie? I don't need that in my Mario movie. No. Why the fuck would you expect an Academy Best Picture of the Year? Maybe, but Best Animated, which it still could get nominated based on its popularity.
It might get the best.
But
song.
It doesn't have to be a freaking Academy Award-winning Best Picture movie to still have more fucking, a little more character development, a little more, plot, a little more interaction with the characters.
Yeah, can it be a little bit in the middle? It has to be like totally Oscar-winning picture to trash.
The games don't have a plot. Why are you expecting the movie to have a plot? Because it's a freaking movie. That's why.
Can we just get rid of that whole defense to begin? Oh, it don't need to be something. Stop with that defense. That is the worst, laziest defense. Oh, it don't need to be that. Oh, okay, yeah, it don't need to be a goddamn movie, but it is. Yeah. So let's make it a good one.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse didn't need to be so freaking clever.
I do think it is a good movie.
No. I'm just trying to make the point.
No, I know, but
I'm not saying it's not a good movie.
Where I disagree is that I think they had enough like little backstory and stuff that I'm like content with what they did, and I think
the key word is little.
Content. See that word you just used? You didn't even think about it too much. Content. Is that content is cool? Well, wouldn't you want more than content? Don't you want more than that? Isn't it
It
nice to
depends.
have
It depends
more
on
to be
what they would
content?
do. Because okay, so I liked what they did with.
All right, here's an
Like,
example. We mentioned it
Yeah,
You didn't
earlier.
say that
Listen,
it
you
couldn't
put
be
yourself
better
in.
than what it is.
Have-
You're
No,
not
of
saying
course,
that.
no. Well, that's why I didn't give it a 10 out of 10. I gave it an 8.5, right? So
Okay.
it's like,
Have
I
Bowser
thought it was a great movie. I really liked it a lot.
have Bowser thinking back to that time him and Peach were in the same room and he waved to her and she waved, but it was somebody behind him or something, and then he thought that's where his crush. Just don't have it be out of nowhere if you didn't see the game. Just
That's
little
funny.
things.
That's a funny
That
little
wouldn't have
cute
done.
thing.
That's a bad example because I don't think that would have done enough to.
Well, I think he's just giving an example, but like
I'm just saying. I just
You
literally
don't have to
just
go with
thought of that.
exactly.
I'm just like, give something to set up so people aren't saying, I don't understand why Bowser's obsessed with Peach, because you didn't show that they haven't met yet. Like, you have to assume. And so
They
just
clearly
little
cut that
things.
out of the picture.
So what I was saying is,
Maybe it wasn't good. Maybe it's something, because that happens.
Yeah, they coulda-
Like
I think it was all for time, though. I really
I'm
think.
thinking of Terminator, like the scene where they put all that fucking work into the scene where they got Sarah Connor.
They take the
her
chip
real
out of his
sister.
head.
Yeah, the
so he
whole
can-
that was cool as shit, but it just dragged.
It
and
didn't work
really
in the
add
movie.
anything, and they cut that shit out. So maybe
It could be.
what we're talking about is in there, but they were like, that's trash. Let's cut that out.
But
We
it
don't
could
need
be
that.
like the Avatar, the last Airbender live action, where everyone's like, "Oh, that movie's only 4 hour and 40. They must have cut. I can't wait to see the deleted scenes." There was one deleted scene where they went and talked to some frickin' what do you call it? Not psychic. That predicts the future. The typical like Jamaican
yeah,
like hotline. Hear your fortune. And it was the worst. It was the most
Cleo
cringe
shit.
scene. Yeah,
Call
Miss
me now
Cleo
for that
cringe ass
scene.
scene was the only deleted scene. Everything else made it into the
But we
movie.
know there's more deleted than this because of the trailers. So we
But
know
it-
they
I honestly don't know if there's a lot of deleted scenes. In this
Well, they're not
movie.
gonna finish
maybe
the
not a lot.
CG. But at least that, like
Yeah,
I
maybe
said,
there
that
was a-
bridge scene with Mario and the Cheep, that to me got the, out of all the trailers and footage I seen, that for me got the best laugh out of me. And to just like make that nothing in the movie, I was like, wonder
better
why they
than
did that.
Bowser approaching the penguins. That shit had me dying.
I wish I didn't see the trailer because I already knew the line.
know,
That
that's
only
tough.
one person in my theater must not have seen the trailer, because only one person laughed out loud at that.
How
It's
embarrassing!
still funny. It's still funny.
Yeah,
and I
it's
was- I
not
was
like it's not
smiling-
funny
I was
anymore. It's
smiling
just
during it,
you
and-
can't
and-
laugh
and
at the
it is
same
such
joke
a great
over time.
moment.
No,
But
you
like,
can't.
man, I wish I.
It was
I'm
almost-
not watching it.
I mean, the trailer almost had that entire
Do
sequence.
you? They should not have.
There was what?
Movie.
What would
That
you
shit was
think?
so funny, bro.
5% extra in the actual movie from the trailer, that first trailer, the teaser, in that sequence. They had a little out of order. I mean, it wasn't cut from beginning to end in the trailer, but if you took all the
It was
shots
pretty much the whole
from the original
Yeah,
teaser,
it's
that
it is.
entire opening sequence. Even where
Yeah,
it gets the
pretty much.
Power Star. Why'd you show us get the Power Star? Like,
The power star doesn't really bother me.
And it's like,
what
what
thing
is
that
the
changed was
power-
the
like-
line? The line is what changed. Where he's like, "Who's gonna stop me?" They changed it.
they added,
'Cause
they still said that, but they added something else, I think.
No, he didn't say who's gonna stop me.
Yeah, he did.
Didn't what?
He
what
goes,
did
"Who's
say? I
gonna
don't
stop
remember.
me?"
Yeah, I
No,
thought
he
he
didn't.
did say that.
No, he didn't say it in the.
What did he
film,
say? Because he said
Oh.
something in the same exact tone and
I
same
thought he said,
delivery.
"Who's gonna stop it?" Yeah, he does say something like that.
He did add something about what he was going to do with the
Then he started
Power
singing.
Star.
He says,
No,
yeah,
I don't think it was.
Yeah,
I don't
how
think it
was
was
it?
that. I don't think it was that phrase.
He
but
did.
It's fine.
I
But-
thought he said, yeah, I'm pretty sure he says it, but I could be wrong. But
Again,
against one. It's 3 against 1.
It's fine.
I
It's
thought-
fine.
I thought his goal was going to
Yeah,
be
you've seen the
to get
film.
the
I
Power
saw it.
Star or get the Power Stars in all the kingdoms, and no, I guess not. That wasn't it. That's just like a gag. I
The
guess.
Luma, I will say the Luma jokes are
I heard 3 of
consistently
those
funny.
too before in the TV spots. Like
See,
started
I didn't
showing
see those at all.
I didn't
Oh
see
my
the
God.
TV spots.
I was watching some review. Was it Grace? When they were like,
No, Grace didn't bring up the Luma.
no, she didn't bring up the Luma. It was somebody else, and they were like, oh, that little fairy thing in the cage. And I'm
Ooh.
like, oh my god,
Yeah.
oh my god.
The Luma thing cracked me up.
Yeah, 'cause they don't
You
actually
don't
say
know
the
what
word
the Luma-
Luma. They don't say like
Yeah.
No.
They never
Luma.
acknowledge it as a Luma because it's just there.
You have a
But,
problem with that?
The
No, because it's not like it's a side gag character.
it's a side
Okay.
gag, and I love it, and people's reactions to it. And I'm not talking about in the theater. I'm talking about in the moment, in the scene. You'll see the rest of the
Yeah.
The rest of the penguin was like, "Shut the fuck up!"
Yeah, you're like, hey, please, can someone please?
That was
Yeah,
a
no,
case
no.
where that speaker behind me was drowning out a lot of those scenes. 'Cause
Oh,
of
really?
Music.
Really?
Jeez.
Sounds like a you problem.
It sounds like a
But
skill
I
issue.
had seen three of the lines before in TV spots and shit,
Oh, did you? See, yeah,
and I was like, I thought it was a
Yeah,
funny idea, but
I
it
didn't watch
didn't.
any TV
It
spots.
didn't make me laugh, like even when I saw it the first time.
It made me
I
laugh.
think it's a funny idea, but I didn't think it was particularly like.
It
laugh
made me
out
laugh
loud.
because every time you saw him, he's on some shit. Like there's like some scenes where shit's getting bad around them, and you just see Luma falling with the rest of them. Yay, dead.
Yeah.
And and it's like this consistent
Yeah,
role.
to think that I would never have guessed that the Luma was just talking about death the whole time. I was
Yeah,
like, what?
it's-
There was,
Yeah.
you know, what was
Dark
funny.
Ass Luma.
It's a really funny game.
Toad had
Really
a funny
dark
line related to death. I thought that was pretty good.
And that's and honestly, again, I said to you guys, but at the end, the credits, man, they made me cry. They made me shed tears.
I wouldn't do all that.
I
wouldn't do all
didn't
that.
stick around for the end
You're an
credit
emotional
scene.
guy.
Why not, man?
You mean the?
Was it
wait,
I
you
you
was
say-
like, it better
You
not
stick
be
around for
another
the-
version of this
The
piano
setup scene.
thing going on.
I think T,
That's
you go,
the first one.
some of those
Yeah.
renditions, yo, in the credits, you're gonna feel it. Like, oh,
The credits
I'm
were
staying-
cool,
I'm staying for the end of the credits.
The
That's
credits
but
were
I
cool
was
and
like,
the
I
music-
gotta get out of here.
I
was,
don't. The teaser to me is ruined a little bit because of what we do see in the film. That's what I'll say. Like, because we see.
I know what the teaser is. Somebody fucking blurted that.
well,
shit.
the
Are you-
teaser
are
I
you-
don't think is even like a
Yeah.
big teaser, to be
It's not
honest.
a big
with you,
It's
teaser,
but-
not, but
I
it would
still
have worked
would have
better
liked to
if
have
you
seen
didn't
it.
see them in the movie.
Right.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you
Well,
didn't see the movie, I would have been
So
fine.
so in the credits though, they have this awesome rendition of a bunch of different Mario games, and then they had Gusty Garden Galaxy, and it made me go, oh, oh.
It's like, oh shit, my
to
child.
hear you gotta to hear all this amazing Mario music
My
in the
arteries.
theater in IMAX, I was like, oh my, like it's a dream. You know, it's a dream to actually have this in. It's just like with Jurassic Park. When I saw Jurassic Park for the first time in theaters a couple years ago when they brought it back, I cried multiple times during the movie. Like the music, all that, like
Yeah, John
Lord-
Williams. Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Yes.
I told you
like,
about
the-
that experience I
He's the
had
goat of
right?
movie soundtracks.
after I got my room done last year with the new screen
Oh,
and
that's
stuff.
right. You did. Yeah, you did.
I
yeah,
put
you
on Jurassic Park, just like, I haven't watched this
Goosebumps.
in a while.
Goosebumps.
The movie that started it all
Yeah.
for me, my whole obsession with like audio, and I already loved movies back then, but the whole digital audio thing for me was
Bro,
like,
to another level.
but I watched the scene. I'm watching in the frickin' Brontosaurus, and they're looking, they're like, turns her head, and then you see it, and I'm like, I started tearing up.
Yeah, it is
It's
so good, that scene. That scene.
But
will
I've watched
literally
that movie
make anyone-
20
when
times.
Sadler stands up in the
Mhm,
Jeep and
Yeah.
shit, and Grant's not paying attention,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden he looks over and he's just like,
like that. You know how he
that
says,
shit. I'm getting goosebumps.
She's
just
looking
talking
at the
about that
plant,
shit.
and
Yeah, he's
I
looking
watched
at
that
the
movie
plant,
20 times, but it was something about all the
Good every
work,
time.
all the work I
all the
put
work
in
you've done
in the last
building up to
couple
that point.
years,
Yeah, I get
having
that.
having this like cinema experience at home, and
Yeah.
then watching it. And I thought it was going to be the same, because after that I was kind of, my expectations for like The Fifth Element and The Crow were like, oh, it's going to be like that again. But Jurassic
Yeah.
Park was the one movie. So
Dude,
yeah,
that movie is fantastic. But,
Seeing,
but
like-
yeah, so that's why, like, in theaters, like, that's what I'm saying, like, to hear those Mario songs, like, in theaters, like, that hit me like that is similar to that.
I bet because I think a similar thing to me was when you finish New Donk City in the fucking game, and they
That
Yes,
was
yes.
they
incredible.
just blast your ass with all that beautiful nostalgia, Donkey Kong, all that. I legit teared up on that. I
Well,
was
it's just like
this
it,
is,
and it's not only that, but
this is
think
why I
about
love
it.
Nintendo. This
Think
shit
about it,
right
like
here.
you have this $100 million movie with this different type of score you've never really heard that hit, like with
Mhm.
Captain Toad is, and you're like, oh my god, it's Captain Toad. Treasure Tracker.
And you know all this shit.
and it's hitting you like.
Let's
and
just
then-
play
and
this for
when
the
you hear
whole
that,
credits.
See,
See, if I'd known that, I might have stayed. I might have
Yeah,
stayed.
the music hits. The music hits so hard.
I
dog.
stopped after the animated credits ended.
Gotcha.
Is this a spoiler? Do I get some Calypso? No Calypso?
I don't know what that is.
What? Yeah. What do you mean?
You know what Calypso music is? The shit that's in Mario 3.
Oh yeah.
There's some
There's some
Calypso.
more. I'm pretty sure there's some Mario 3 stuff
I
in
need
I
to be
like
quiet
the-
in here.
I
I'm just
like-
shocked.
I don't know Calypso.
There's definitely Mario 3 stuff,
Robert's
right?
response
It's
was
in the credits.
Like Calypso
Oh
music.
yeah, I don't know. Actually, I don't know if that. I don't think that was. That's specific. Yes, yes. I don't think that was in.
Nah,
Doo-doo.
nah.
No Calypso. What?
I don't think that was in it. I don't.
Nah,
I don't
One
remember
thing's for
any of-
sure,
I don't-
though.
No Calypso.
The music is better in the Mario movie than the Sonic movie.
Well, no shit. That's called the love and intention.
No, I don't think
fucking
that's
wanted in
not-
the
that's
Sonic
just-
film.
Well, you know they can't cover everything, but it'd be nice.
Music was gonna be goated no
in
matter
the
what.
credits, in the
Right.
credits, they go very.
You know the
They go very
soundtrack's out, right?
original.
Just
Yeah, because that one post, the guy posted, "Hey, I worked on this scene with going through the Jungle Kingdom or whatever, and yeah, they cut it. But it's in this official soundtrack, so you can listen to
Yeah,
it,
it's in the official
and
soundtrack.
it sound good.
sounds like
Well,
I was like, the music is goated. Good God, the music is
I
goated.
gotta
Well,
get
that's
that
the thing is that-
soundtrack, man.
That's the thing is.
I'm gonna
I was
I'm gonna
listening to it on
fucking download a
Spotify,
fan
whatever.
edit where they edit that music
Mhm.
and they take out all the
Because you know that's happening.
all the Beastie Boys and Aha whatever.
They
and
honestly might do
the
that.
hero
for the Blu-ray.
song.
I could see them trying to make a little bit.
I low key
feature
wish
with
they.
the
I
Blu-ray.
hope they do it for the Blu-ray, just as a different
We
experience.
didn't need what was it? I need a hero. What hero song was it?
I need it. I just need a hero. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't want to sing too much more than that.
yeah. I don't.
And,
I didn't need that.
Get
Those
dropped on
who
YouTube.
didn't know, T got them pipes, and they may mistake him for the actual song.
Yeah,
Like,
he's playing the song. Shut them down.
y'all always wonder why T don't sing in his videos. He ain't trying to get copyrighted.
Ain't trying to get them copyrights, man.
So
Wait a
again,
minute, that's my song. No, I don't
just to
care.
recap, I
Sound too
did give
good.
a grade, but I did say that I feel like I can't officially grade it till I see it
Well, it
again.
sounded like, yeah, it
in
sounded
a
like you
good
had
experience.
a pretty shitty experience. Like it
Yeah.
really did sound like.
I'm waiting for Peacock, and I'm gonna watch it in 4K HD
I hate
HDR.
that name, man.
I do hate
Hey,
that
because
name.
he emphasized the cock.
Peacock.
Cock.
Not only does it have 45 from film to
45
but Peacock's
inches.
free
Oh,
if you have Xfinity. You don't even need to pay for it, so it's
Oh, yeah?
amazing. No commercials.
You
Listen,
sure it won't be on Netflix? I
No,
don't know.
listen.
No, Peacock
So-
gets Universal.
Universal.
They got
Okay, because
Megan's on there now.
The past Minions and stuff was on Netflix. That's why I don't know.
Oh,
When was that?
Listen, are you trying
The
to turn
last
down
one.
free? Robert, you
Wasn't
trying to
it
turn
Years
down?
ago?
Robert, you trying to turn
No,
down free
no,
cock?
they
Is that
had
what
a
you trying to do?
Minions. They had a
Rise
Minions
of
movie
Gru.
last year,
or
Yeah, Rise of Gru.
and it was on. Yeah, look,
Well-
watch now Netflix.
yeah, Peacock gets it 45 days after the
Yeah.
theatrical debut, and then from
Well,
there,
look up Peacock Minions.
from
Yeah,
there,
Don't look up
Cock
cock.
after
Minions.
that, it
You'll
runs
find something
on there
completely
for like a
different, buddy.
month,
You
and
gonna
then
find
it
a bunch of
goes
shit I don't
wherever.
want to see, bro.
Dark web.
Okay,
and
so
not being
hold on. It
dark.
says
You know that dark web.
it
shit.
says Minions: The Rise of Gru will begin streaming exclusively on Peacock on September 23rd, 2022.
So that's different because Jurassic
but-
World
but-
and Megan and
Say it like
Puss
that,
in Boots.
bro.
I think it's just a case by case.
Maybe
'cause
case by case.
It could
and
be
well,
a
Grace
case.
said that Mario would be there in 45 days, so maybe she.
Okay,
Grace
does.
say
alright.
a lot of shit that ain't right.
Again.
But that's
Robert,
something I
why'd
would
you
think
put a
she would
break in
know.
the word, dog. He was like cock, and I'm like, why'd you?
That's how
do
you
that,
pronounce
man?
it. Well, that's how you pronounce
ain't
it.
how you fucking pronounce it. You
Say
fucking
it
asshole.
together as fast as you can, possibly can.
Yeah,
That's how you say it. Exactly. That's how you're supposed to say it right there. Peacock.
Peacock. Don't do it.
Fuck.
Demonetized.
Hate you, bro. Hate you, bro. It was terrible. What you doing? I'm looking at P. Cock.
So
No.
Oh, and it was cool. Like, you know what? That Charles Martinet gets a pretty decent role actually.
I heard that.
That
Like
nigga
actually
gets
a
two
role
roles.
a role that I didn't even notice.
Hmm.
Yeah, he gets 2 roles technically.
Wow,
I was
you
like,
can
wait, what the hell?
Metro
He gets a
or
skin.
Amazon Prime has May 9th listed for a date for when you can purchase the digital version of Mario on Prime,
I
which
don't know.
they
That-
they
that's
get a
only-
lot of movies quick now.
They do. And I
Um,
still have Prime, so I'm Gucci.
Let's see.
They be
Universal
killing people
signed a
with that
deal
digital
with
version.
Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Peacock. Minions
Let's
Rise
see.
of Gru was offered on Peacock.
Jurassic Groot? Did you, I think,
Jurassic Groot.
I said the Rise of Groot.
I am Groot. He
oh, I
said
did
Groot.
the Jurassic.
So that was
the
that-
Jurassic Group, bro.
So she was wrong
Jurassic
about the
Groot.
45 days. It's
That-
it's about 80 days for the last five
80
movies.
days.
Oh, I
Damn,
thought you was
man.
right about these things.
Yeah,
Juice.
she's full of shit.
Ugh.
Actually, wasn't that
Wrong
H?
about shit.
That was somebody had that in 2020. It was a 45 day, but yeah, it looks like 80
That was
days.
that
So
was Warner Brothers, wasn't it?
that would put no, they were day
And
and date.
again, it is
That's
a
right.
case by case. This
Yeah.
movie keeps making money. That 80-day bullshit will go away too. If it continues making money,
But
they're
80
gonna-
days,
they're
Well,
that's-
not
here,
gonna
well, here it
stick to
goes. So,
that.
so,
No, I'm just saying.
well, so
They're not
based
gonna
on
stick to
previous,
those things if the movie's making money.
But
so Minions did. Or I guess maybe you read this. 84 days and Puss in Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots.
70.
79
Somebody's
days.
boots?
so I gotta wait till middle end of June probably.
Yeah.
Piss and
So.
boots.
That's fine.
That sounds awful. I don't want no piss and boots.
Oh, okay. So based on the Netflix trend, that would mean the Super Mario Brothers movie will also hit Netflix on October 23rd, 4 months after it is released on Peacock. Okay, so first is Peacock,
Mhm.
then
It
Netflix.
doesn't feel.
Gotcha.
Netflix don't feel right for the Mario movie.
But
Netflix quality
does?
sucks too.
Yeah, this quality does suck ass.
They really I mean it's the most viewed
HBO
one.
Max turned their shit around though.
They got a lot of I mean their quality is amazing.
They were terrible at first. Terrible.
But it was the first 4K was Wonder Woman 1984 and then the Justice League
Nobody wanted to see.
and then they've been going I mean like there's like The Last of Us that looked amazing.
Mm.
So
Yeah, it did.
but anyway, I think that's it.
I want to add one quick thing. So I just got a copy. I want to give me an extra copy.
Oh shit!
I know the price is gonna go crazy.
He's trying to make some fucking money, y'all.
No, just for myself. But you see that little thing there?
I hate that.
Saudi
Anybody
Arabia.
ever seen that?
Saudi
No.
Arabia.
Yes, I have seen
Yes,
that.
UAE, Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, Singapore, official product. This is United Arab Emirates. But it's English. It's English.
But it's a US copy.
It will play in
weird.
your American, your
Yeah.
North American.
You sure? I thought
Wii U. Yeah, no, this is English.
it's not region
My
locked.
Skyward Sword has that. My Skyward Sword has that.
Look at the disc. It's basically the same disc.
Mm-hmm.
It's
But
the
for
same.
some
way-
reason- Yeah, I have another game. I play this on my 3DS. Ever Oasis.
Oh,
on
yeah.
PS2.
Fuck me, I need to get
Yeah, right
that.
there.
Huh.
You
That's
wait
weird.
right there.
I don't
There's a
get it
bunch
at all.
And these are cheaper.
Yes.
So if you are in the market, look for the UAE. It's all in English. It's the same goddamn thing. I don't even know why this exists.
I don't know either. That's what confuses me. That's why I'm like,
Yeah.
like
And
it comes
people-
out. It's like
People would
afterwards.
rather have the other one, the North American one, and it's more expensive. But it's like this is the same fucking thing. Who cares? It just has a little.
You can
Yeah,
no longer
like
download the packs though.
Oh, that's right.
You probably can.
Did they stop that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I know they stopped that. It don't matter. You just
It plays off the
pirate
disc,
the
but
shit.
It's time to
It's
break
very
some
easy
jails.
to
What's the
bro.
difference?
jailbreak your Wii.
Yeah, it's time to
Very
Plus,
break
easy.
some
I-
jails, bro.
I had that
difference in,
freaking
what
game
Get them snipper
downloaded.
clips.
I had
Break
it
out.
on CEMU. I had it downloaded, but they hadn't really worked on it because it wasn't as popular as Breath of the Wild. And I was like, it's just wasting space. I deleted it. Now I don't have any idea where to fucking download Wii U games for the emulator anymore. I'm sure I could figure it out, but
Wait,
No, it's
where?
not- yeah, it's not hard.
How's the loading time difference without the data
know.
packs?
it's not
been a
much.
while.
Is it that big of a difference?
I think it's less about loading times. It's more about the streaming and assets.
I want to try it.
I think there's
I
more
wanna try it.
pop in. If I
Yeah.
Text
remember.
yourself.
I'm gonna try it in my other Wii U and see how it plays.
It's just so
Mhm.
it could, reading the disc is so slow. Just that's the thing that
Right.
stands out the most when I played the Wii U the last time, is it couldn't load all down, get all the assets for all the textures and stuff. I think that's what
Mm.
helps with streaming
So-
the actual game while you're playing it less than loading times. I don't think it really does much, but
My point of that was to get your 3DS games and your Wii U games now because they are not coming down in price after.
Yeah, I mean, I got pretty much all the Wii U games I want. There's a few that I want, but I'm pretty much done
Yeah,
with the
I'm
Wii
pretty
U,
good.
sadly.
I
I'm sadly
officially-
going to.
Yeah.
I officially put my Wii U collection in the Rubbermaid bins I have. They've been
Oh,
on display
no.
for
Damn, they're never
till
coming out,
now.
man.
I mean,
They're never
over
coming out.
10 years, those games have been out,
Oh man.
and I put them away.
You don't want a single one just sitting there on the side.
I
That's
kinda-
mine
wanted to
over
make
here.
divide my room up more into movies on this side, That's why I put the
Gotcha.
poster. I gotta get some
what's
newer
that back there?
posters.
What, is that a doll of some kind?
Yeah.
Is there two dolls back there? What are
Oh
those?
my god.
Maybe you'll see in the future video.
Man, shut the hell up, bro.
But anyway, let's get
Look at
out of
this
here. I
man
feed my
shit,
cat.
bro.
But thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Oh my god.